Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. The Amazon rainforest had been on fire for several weeks, and Brazil's right-wing President Bolsonaro suggested Wednesday, without evidence, that the fires were started by non-governmental organizations. The Mind Unleashed quotes Bolsonaro as saying, quote, "Maybe, I am not affirming it, these NGO people are carrying out some criminal actions to draw attention against me, against the government of Brazil," end quote. Adding that, quote, "The fires were lit in strategic places. All the indications suggest they went there to film and start fires. That's what I feel," end quote. Greenpeace Brazil shot back, with its public policy coordinator, Marcio Astrini, calling the president's statement sick and pitiful. In a video that's gone viral, a Brazilian woman expressed anguish as she pointed to the destruction the fires have brought, which she blamed on deforestation for cattle ranching, a practice that Bolsonaro has actively encouraged. The video was shared by the U.S.-based Sunrise Movement, which said in a tweet, quote, "We cannot tolerate political agendas of deforestation. We will not watch our future burn away," end quote. With his company stock in freefall, Overstock.com CEO Patrick Byrne resigned as CEO Thursday, effective immediately, after he stunned investors by disclosing his entanglements with the deep state. The Mind Unleashed reports that the 56-year-old Byrne, who founded the company in 1999 and took it public 3 years later, will be succeeded by director Jonathan Johnson, who was with the company for 17 years and has recently served as president of Overstock's blockchain business. Byrne's resignation comes after conspiratorial comments from August 12th, where he confessed his role in the deep state. Byrne released an initial statement last week where he discussed his involvement in the federal government's investigation into the 2016 election interference, though he wasn't super specific. He said he assisted in investigations related to the Clintons and Russia. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Sources at the video streaming service Netflix reported today that they had sent local man Shane Fowler a personal message earlier just checking to see if everything was okay after the 31-year-old watched an entire season of the FX program Sons of Anarchy in a single viewing session.
Well, we happened to notice that Shane had been sitting in front of his laptop and had burned through all 13 episodes of the first season of Sons of Anarchy. So we thought maybe we could send him a note and just sort of make sure he was doing all right, or if he needed someone to talk to or something.
Netflix says the message, which Fowler received minutes after he finished viewing the season 1 finale of the motorcycle gang drama, was just a way for the company to see if there was anything they could do for their longtime subscriber.
I mean, we do this stuff all the time. Just last year, Mike Ralston from Bartlesville, Oklahoma, watched all 4 seasons of The Tudors after his wife left him. We were there for him. We just like to check in on our customers from time to time.
This is the Onion News Network. Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. Welcome to our live Sunday edition of the show. You can dial in toll-free. You can take control of the airwaves, bring up whatever is on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. If you want to join the show, that's how you do it. Although there's also the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm, and that is a way for you to sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And tonight, that us includes me, Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Mark.
So, as always, you can bring up what you want. We've got, of course, news that we bring in. I know, Richie, on the way, there's some, I guess, news from, New York cops photoshopping mugshots?
Yes.
That's an interesting story.
I don't know if it's New York cops, but this comes from the New York Times, and I also found it in some Oregon newspaper earlier in the week. So I was hoping that this one had an update to the story as well.
Yeah, so we can talk about that. Plus, gun sellers apparently selling guns on Facebook, which is a no-no. But somehow they've found some sort of a loophole or a workaround. We can discuss that. Plus, American Indian headdresses have been banned at a music festival in, well, of course, San Francisco. So these are all things that, are on deck, but we may or may not get to them because it's open phones every night here on Free Talk Live. And we are expecting a special guest to join us here in just a few moments on actually our Discord server. He did just join the Discord, so I'm not sure when he'll pop into the on-air call-in line rooms, but we'll get to our guest and introduce him when the time's appropriate. So let's start with the headdress thing from the Daily Mail. dailymail.co.uk. American Indian headdresses have been banned at San Francisco's Outside Lands Music Festival, according to organizers. The feathered headpieces, which have become a controversial fashion trend at music shows across the U.S.
I can see it from here. Finish the headline, because the second part of the headline's funny as to why.
Oh, the rest of the headline? So banned at this festival to prevent hipsters from wearing them, was the claim at the Daily Mail. Organizers
Cultural
said,
appropriation run amok.
In a statement
Come
that they sent to the San Francisco Chronicle, they were banning the headdresses, quote, out of respect for Native American heritage and culture. They added that we are committed to creating a safe, respectful, and inclusive environment for all. Now, that's not to say that anyone who is a Native American actually asked them to do this.
Probably not.
Oftentimes, what you have is this, white people virtue signaling that goes on. There are certainly Native American activists out there that will jump on any opportunity to make some noise about Native Americans, and so I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was upset at one point.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that if somebody I've got Irish heritage, so all you people are out there that are drinking or socially appropriating my heritage, right? Put down that whiskey. Bunch of posers.
That might be Native American heritage, too.
No, whoa. We were drunk long before the Native Americans ever found alcohol. No, I mean, I don't. Nobody seems to care if you're of certain heritage, but if you're of other heritage, it's a really big deal.
Yeah, it's a lot more allowable on St. Patrick's Day than it is Cinco de Mayo.
Right, that's right. People make a big deal about Cinco de Mayo, when in fact Mexicans really don't care about that holiday much at all. So,
it's just an excuse for Americans to drink.
I think that
most holidays, yeah.
I've looked into this American Indian issue quite a bit, and while I won't say the Washington, D.C. football team's name, because I think it's pejorative.
The Redskins?
That's right. I think it's pejorative. I don't like it.
Okay. Didn't they? Wasn't there another football or baseball team or something that actually changed their name?
I believe the Cleveland Indians are, thinking about changing Chief Wahoo, I think is what his name is.
I thought there was like a Western.
There may have been.
Somehow out west somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a sports guy.
If you're saying it's a team, then yes, somebody's changed their name.
But like an Indian-related team, like
maybe a high school team. I don't know of anything.
I felt like it was one of them bigger names, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a controversy over one of them that's bubbled up.
The one that's most controversial is the Washington football team,
the Redskins.
Well, you can say it all. You can say it over and over again. I don't care. You're not going to get me upset about it. It's ridiculous, but I'm not going to say it because I think it's wrong. However, when they've polled actual American Indians on this subject,
they don't care.
Mostly, they just don't care.
Right.
So it's a small portion of them that care, and then a smaller portion of that care at all, care a lot. So
there used to be controversy over the tomahawk chop as well during, was it Braves games? In Atlanta.
The tomahawk chop is also done during the Florida Seminole Indians. The Florida State Seminole games.
Sure,
but the Florida State team is endorsed by
The Seminoles.
the Seminoles, right? And which makes the people that want to be active about this really upset. And that's the thing is you don't know, like, who gets to say. If I'm one Seminole and I'm upset that the Seminoles are doing Seminole, right, this choppy thing, then I suppose you've got credence. If I'm just a white guy with an opinion on it, well, then okay. If I'm a crippled black woman, then my opinion really matters, I guess. I don't know. Like, it's all this identity politics stuff, and I think we do need to have some level of empathy towards people. That's why I don't use the Washington football team's name, but because I'm just not going to, I'm just not going to participate at certain levels. However, I think this can go way too far.
Okay.
And most American Indians, tribes didn't use this giant feathery headdress thing. Just a few of them did. Sure. And, look, we found feathers. We're going to make something out of it. And I see why people want them. They're cool.
Yes.
I mean,
they look great. I mean, they've got pictures of, hot women at festivals here wearing Indian headdresses.
Turns out that hot women in any circumstance look good, but yeah.
Right. So they've banned, according to the San Francisco Chronicle that wrote, I guess, the original story about this, adding that they're committed to creating a safe, respectful, and inclusive environment for all. Native Americans argue that tribal headdresses should only be worn by chiefs and warriors as a symbol of bravery and not by non-natives as fashion items or fancy dress. Festival goers are also banned from taking totems. According to an official list online. Does that mean you can't bring a totem into the festival? I guess that's what that means.
Yeah.
They will also be stopped from bringing in selfie sticks, fireworks, and drones.
What's that appropriation of?
I think these are just rules for the festival. Assistant professor of American Studies at Brown University, Adrian Keene, first wrote about the issue in 2010, saying wearing them helps to, quote, promote stereotyping of native cultures.
And what is the stereotyping, though? See, this is the thing. Is they'll say, it's bad, but how's it bad? Yes. Are you saying it's bad? Like you're going out there and you're saying this Indian hat is bad? Why? Who the hell are you to say that this Indian hat is bad?
I don't see how it does anything to stereotype anyone. I mean, wearing a Indian headdress doesn't stereotype Indians as heavy drinkers, as you did earlier,
It's a common joke amongst comedians. Give me a break.
But that's the thing. Jokes have a victim usually, right? There's usually somebody who's being picked on in a joke. And people who have a sense of humor
Wait a second.
are fine with that.
I made several jokes about Irishmen drinking,
Yes,
and
you
you're
did.
not mentioning that.
We're talking about Indians right now.
Well, okay.
Okay? So, people who want to get offended are going to find something to get offended about. And no matter what, no matter how safe you try to make the safe room or safe zone or whatever, they call them these days, where the young kids need their little safe space. That's what it is, safe space. There's probably still somebody who's going to get upset about something. Maybe it'll be another person who's in the safe space, right? Like even if it's a completely nondescript room with padded walls or something like that, there's still something that's going to offend these easily offendable, looking to be offended kind of people. We can continue.
They started out angry.
Yeah.
They found this issue.
Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord call-in line rooms, and you can join us here, whether you want to talk about so-called cultural appropriation or anything that's on your mind. You can join us here on Free Talk Live. It is the live Sunday edition. More coming up.
You know what sucks? Not being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, within legal and ethical constraints, of course. Being stuck in a boring job or stressful business, or living in fear that your wife or girlfriend might get mad at you if you do what you want. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create location-independent income and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. GoDark bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit GoDarkbags.com/FTL. That's GoDarkbags.com/FTL.
Following several months of negotiations, representatives at the Minnesota State Museum confirmed today that they've extended their final offer to the anonymous owner of the couch from the hit 1970s sitcom The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
We hope an agreement can be reached soon because after months of back and forth, we just need a straight answer here.
Healy noted that the brown velvet artifact would be a welcome addition to its media wing, which boasts a robust collection, including several iconic Minnesota pieces.
We have the fence from Grumpy Old Men. We acquired the puck from the Mighty Ducks several months ago.
Healy and his team made their first bid in December of 2012 and have cycled through 5 rounds of negotiations, reportedly tripling their initial offer in an urgent attempt to secure the sale.
It's not every day that an artifact of this significance comes on the market and went... Oh my God, it's him. It's him, okay? Hello, sir. What would you say if I went up another 2?
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it.
Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live, and we're doing the live Sunday edition of the program. As always, you're invited to join us here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We're brought to you by Bitcoin.com, great website with a ton of features, especially for people who are new to Bitcoin, but even those who've been into it for a long time. You're going to find some really valuable information there. They recently launched their local.bitcoin.com website that allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods. You finally have a global trading platform that respects your privacy because there's no what they call know your customer requirements. You don't have to show identification in order to create an account there at local.bitcoin.com. And also the communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. So head on over to local.bitcoin.com.
And one thing when I was talking to Roger Ver, the sort of head guy over there at Bitcoin.com, He said that basically you're completely safe in buying Bitcoin Cash at local.bitcoin.com.
He said that
as long as you're doing buying.
Yeah, I'm going to add to that you.
That's a bold statement.
I'm gonna. If I were there, I would have stopped him on saying that, because no, you're not. You need to follow the rules as a buyer in order to be completely safe. So there are scam artists on the site, because again, it's an anonymous site, so you got to be careful. Common scam that is trying to be run on buyers, new buyers who don't know what they're doing, is you'll open a trade with somebody.
Yep.
And let's say it's a PayPal trade, and they got a good price, right? It's just below market, so they'll price like just below market to attract you in, and then they'll say, okay, well, here's my PayPal address. But if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know that you need to make sure they put the money in escrow, that the Bitcoin Cash needs to be put in escrow.
I see.
Because if they don't put the coin in escrow and you send them dollars or whatever, drachma or whatever currency they want on PayPal, well, guess what? They just got your money on PayPal, and they didn't put anything up into escrow, so therefore you can't get anything because there was never anything put into escrow anyway, because they're scam artists.
You can dispute it on PayPal and likely will get your money back because PayPal's notorious.
Yeah, you could do that. That's a possibility, but
I'm not saying
a lot of extra steps.
Agreed.
It's not going to feel good. It's not going to be fun.
No.
So you got to follow the rules in order to be protected as a buyer. So. And they will try to trick you. So we go to we're going to get to your calls and thoughts coming up here in a moment. I did promise at the start of the show that we would have a special guest, and we've managed to hammer out the technical difficulties to get him on with us. He is Benny Wills from BennyWills.com, a couple great YouTube channels, including Joy Camp and his brand new one, which is eponymous, named Benny Wills. Benny, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you saying technical difficulties, and it was actually just my own ineptitude and inability to get on Discord. But thank you.
Well, welcome. It's nice to have you back. I think the last time we had you on was a couple of years ago at one of the Anarchapulco events.
Yes, it was I think it was 2018 when we were live and in person.
And you, I believe, have actually been named the MC of the main stage at the coming 2020 Anarchapulco. Wow. So congratulations to you for that.
Thank you. And yeah, it seems to be in motion. Yeah, I guess I'm going to be the next MC for the event.
Great. It's a huge event. I mean, for listeners that maybe haven't heard of it before, if you're newer to the show, it happens in, of course, Acapulco, Mexico, at a just absolutely beautiful resort. I think there were about 2,000 attendees there last year, which makes it one of the largest, probably the top two. Like it and Freedom Fest are probably the two top-tier competing events for largest attendance of any freedom-related festival on the planet. They had Ron Paul speak there, and if Ron Paul shows up,
it's a big deal.
It's gonna be a big event. So you may be introducing Ron Paul next year. I mean, how does that feel?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I mean, it's an honor to be in such good company. I mean, I've been I never would have expected that my path would lead me to such opportunities. So it's pretty cool.
Let's talk about your path for a moment here. Obviously, some of our listeners have probably never heard of you before. Richie in our studio is new to.
I'm fairly new. I've heard the name. I can't place it.
Well, I said Joy Camp to you early, and you said you'd heard
I've heard of that, but I honestly haven't seen any of the videos.
So how did you end up becoming, how would you describe yourself? Libertarian, voluntarist, anarchist? Do you even describe yourself in those ways? And how did you get there?
Well, I think I identify so much with the anarchist principles. I feel more comfortable calling myself a voluntarist.
Yeah, me too.
If push came to shove, but I also don't like labels in general.
Mm-hmm.
My allegiance is to the truth. That's where I'm at. So I'm on the side of truth, wherever that takes me, and that's where it's. Well, this is where it's taking me
so
at this point in my life.
life.
Yeah, as if there's any other way to be. But yes, that is what I am.
Well, how did you get there? Was there some sort of event in your life or issue, or what was it that kind of opened these doors for you?
I've always just had a sense that life was more than what I was being told by authority. All the way back to elementary school, I just was always asking why? Mm-hmm. Why was I learning the things I was learning? Why did I have to be in class? I was always just a curious person. And so that naturally, I guess, evolved as I got older. And I just became so skeptical of politics and anybody who was telling me that I had to do something. I was never a good employee. I didn't take orders well, and I've always just been very independent. And it's been a natural progression. So there wasn't really
one thing,
a big moment. I did decide when I was about 20 years old to dedicate my life to truth. I really declared it to myself. I said, I want to know the truth.
That's
And
impressive at that age.
Did you say when you were 12 or 20? There was a little jitter.
12.
20.
20.
I said 20.
Oh, I thought he said 12 too. I'm like, man, this is a precocious kid.
I wish.
That was the jitter then, because I also heard 12.
Because I declared that I wanted to know more about Star Wars figures. I was 12.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was when I was in college. It was actually, I think the real turning point was when it was, I was in college in San Francisco, and it was right before the election of 2004, and it was Kerry versus Bush. And at that time, I guess I was definitely leaning more to the left, and the sentiment was anybody but Bush. And I was had mixed feelings about it, because I caught wind of the fact that both Kerry and Bush were Skull and Bones members, and I thought, well, that's weird. Like, of all the people, all the people in America, we have to choose between two Skull and Bones members. That's odd.
Two guys from the same secret club.
Same club.
It was bizarre, and I noticed it, and it was peculiar. And then this guy named Peter Camejo came and spoke at my school, and he was the running mate of Ralph Nader that year. And he was no BS in the way he spoke, and and it was the most I'd ever liked a politician. And he was talking to us, and I was like, man, I like what this guy's saying. I wish I could vote for him. And when I had that thought, I became aware of my programming. I was like, whoa, why can't I vote for this guy? Why do I have to vote for somebody just to keep somebody else out of office when I actually really like this person I'm listening to? And that sort of created a little schism for myself, and I guess that was sort of
I love the terminology programming, because it is ridiculous that you think that I think, for whatever reason, I got to vote for one of these major party candidates because God knows I don't want to waste my vote. Are you kidding? Your vote's inconsequential. There's no wasting it.
Right.
We got more coming up here. Benny, you're sticking with us, right, for a little bit?
Yeah, I'll be here.
More with Benny Wills here, and again, a couple of YouTube channels. We'll talk a little bit more about those. Benny Wills is his newest one.
Maybe a little poetry?
Originally, I got it poetry, a piece of his poetry, which is amazing. This was actually just an excuse to play some of that.
Yeah, really, it's so
really
awesome.
Fantastic.
So
There's
awesome.
more coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad, and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years. With experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love, and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, the live Sunday edition of the program. We are open phones every single night here, and we will continue to be open phones as soon as we are done with our special guest. We don't do guests very often here on Free Talk Live. It's normally just open phones every single night, 7 nights a week. But every now and then, somebody strikes me as, we ought to talk to that guy.
Right. I'd say at least half of the time, if not more than half the time, if we do have a guest, it's because I've pushed you to do it. The real rarity is when you get excited about somebody and have them brought on, and that's what's going on here.
And say yes to the... Can we bring them on? No, we don't do guests, except on special occasions.
Yeah, I mean, so we were giving him some accolades earlier, and certainly I knew that he was a talented guy when I saw Joy Camp, which is his YouTube channel, which is... I will do my best to describe it. I'm sure you can do a better job. Benny Wills is with us here, but Joy Camp is sort of like a sort of half satirical, half honest look at the truth. And you've got a character on there called Conspiracy Guy who you can't really tell exactly which conspiracies Benny Wills actually believes, but he certainly is familiar with, it seems like, all of them and sort of lampoons it to some extent.
Well, Art holds up a mirror
on Joy Camp.
And I think that Benny does an excellent job of that.
You also got to be careful with satire. They're cracking down on that too now.
So I first saw you on Joy Camp, Benny, and I don't know where I came across that in the internet world. But then, we met briefly at Anarchapulco, and then I saw you again this year at the very first Anarcha Vegas, and you were the MC there, and you got a lot of time on stage to share some of your poetry with the crowd. And Mark and I were doing our radio show most of the time there, but every time I was over by the stage, I would always, stay there and listen to what you were saying, because it was really that fantastic. So I thought, we should have him back on. So welcome back.
I really appreciate that. Thanks.
How was
all the nice things you guys just said?
Well, okay. So now, how would you describe Joy Camp? Because that was my crack at it, just as a viewer.
How would I describe it? Well, someone called it conscious comedy once, and we all kind of like that. We really just were looking for a way to contribute when my friends and I started it back in 2012, and we realized that there was a serious lack of humor in the quote truth movement, and in the sort of the conspiracy world. And
Oh
we
yeah,
really
it's
wanted
so
to bring
dark and depressing, and
That's reaching out to the real world now too.
Well, everybody feels so beset in that particular movement, for lots of good reasons.
That's because they believe that there's an evil cabal of men behind the scenes that are controlling everything, and there's all these different stories.
Well, everybody's always calling them a lunatic.
The rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper if you follow it, and it gets really dark and pretty scary. So like, there's a lot of fear mongering. There's a lot of negativity, and you can't really attract people with that. I mean, you're going to attract a certain type of person. Obviously, people like Alex Jones or whatever are quite successful with their sort of fear message. But comedy is something people love, and that's something that attracts people. Creative skit comedy. You don't see that not just in the truth movement, but the libertarian movement. It almost doesn't exist. It's just a bunch of geeks reading a bunch of books or arguing on the internet. And so you brought something new to the table.
Yeah, exactly. We just wanted to bring some levity to the situation. And since we were all pretty performance and film oriented, I mean, I've been studying acting since I was a kid, and I was a theater major in college, and we were all living in LA, all trying to make it make it in the business in Hollywood.
Waiting tables.
And I never waited a table, but I did as a substitute teacher and as an arts instructor, and I actually got hired at a coffee shop once, and I didn't even finish my first shift before I quit.
Wow.
Like I said, I've never been cut out for taking orders. I just don't do well when people tell me what to do.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
And I just wasn't. Yeah, so that didn't work out so well. But for years, Kevin is my sort of co-creator of Joy Camp. We were wanting to contribute in some way. We didn't realize that we could use what we were already good at and apply it. We thought we had to be activists in some way, and then when we finally realized, oh wait, we can take what we're already good at and, apply it to activism, I guess, it all fell into place. And we never really had any intentions with it. We just liked doing it, and people seemed to like it, and gosh, it's just been a real unfolding for me in the past, especially in the past like 3 or 4 years, what that's led to for me. But yeah, we just wanted to lighten it up a little bit. And I think that's the best feedback we get when people say that they were finally able to share something with a friend or a family member that was otherwise unreachable. And then they showed them a Joy Camp video, and now they were laughing and they were talking again. And, that's really rewarding. And so then we actually became pretty passionate about it because we saw firsthand that these videos had the ability to disarm people, and we were able to reach some people that were otherwise unreachable with taboo subjects, and we became pretty passionate about it. And then it's sort of hard to keep a group together, and as I continued to grow, and I outgrew my career in Hollywood, and I stopped wanting to be involved with that dark industry anymore, so I moved away and then really started stepping into my own sort of performance contribution, which is where I, that's where my heart is anyway. I've been a performer my whole life, and now I'm performing my own work, and it's
beautiful.
Awesome.
So you left Hollywood because they tried to recruit you into a cult.
Well, I was trying to force my way into a cult that I had no respect for, and then it was when I realized that I was just running. I was like,
have you ever had a meeting with Harvey Weinstein?
No, it's funny. People ask me all the time, what I actually experienced in Hollywood, because I grew up in LA. I was there from birth until 10 years old, and then I was there from 25 to 33. So I spent a lot of my life in Los Angeles and in the business, and my parents were actors, and I've been saturated in show business my whole life, but I never saw anything or experienced anything too dark firsthand, other than just people's attitudes. But
right.
The real dark stuff that people talk about and speculate on, I've never experienced. I don't doubt that it's actually happening, but I never experienced it firsthand. But when I did realize that I was trying to break down the walls of something that I really had no respect for, and that severely compromised my integrity, I knew that I had to walk away, even though it was a lifelong dream. And that was a really, bittersweet thing to do.
Why not pursue the dream and change Hollywood from the inside?
Yeah, right. Well, I thought, honestly, I thought I could for a while. I think that's how I thought I was talking myself into it. I was like, I'll be the one, I'll become rich and famous through a TV show, and then I'll use that money to fund my own projects. And then at a certain point, it's like, actually, I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah, that's the wonders of the internet. It provides people the ability to these creative outlets that otherwise wouldn't have them.
Because you don't have to ask permission.
Right. You've built this audience that otherwise would not have existed because, you were trying to sort of mold yourself so that you could infiltrate or whatever a system that likely was never going to let you in, right? That's got these, screens that are put up over time to keep people out that they don't like, and it's so many people spent so much time banging their head against all kinds of different walls out there, and I'm just glad you figured it out.
Yeah, well, I figured out that when I first moved to LA, it was after I completed graduate school, and I thought I'm just going to do independent film. I'm going to be an actor who just gets known for being avant-garde and doing smaller projects. And after a year, I was broke. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, well, how do you make money as an actor? And so I started really analyzing it. And really the best ways to make money is if you're a movie star, if you're a series regular, or if you're doing commercials regularly.
Yeah, commercials
pay really well. So I turned my attention to commercials. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to work a job. I don't want to work at the coffee shop. I don't want to wait tables. But I don't want to be a slave to some job I hate. So I think I'll just figure out how to book commercials. And I did. I got pretty good at it. I joined a softball team that was represented by a casting office, and I started volunteering there and just figuring out what it took to book commercials, how to take my skills, which were classical in training. Like, I'm a classically trained actor. I mean, I studied Shakespeare, and I have a master's degree in stage acting, and how to consolidate that into a commercial performance. And I did quite well for a while. But then I realized they're exploiting my talent. They're exploiting what I've worked so hard to achieve to sell products that I don't care about and are most likely damaging people. So it was a real, integrity compromise.
Hold that thought, Benny. We're going to continue here in just a moment. Benny Wills is with us. This is Free Talk Live.
Anytime, any place, anywhere, radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-301-5435. That's 800-301-5435. 800-301-5435.
This is George Norrie from Coast to Coast AM and History Channel's Ancient Aliens. We support the amazing energy, nutrition, and skincare products from Headdress. Headdress products are designed by leading doctors in their field with natural ingredients and even stem cell technology. These products help your body perform and look better. Shop Headdress at gcnlife.com or call 1-844-443-6637. gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk live Sunday edition of the program. As always, you're invited to join us here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. But we're breaking our normal format of open phones. We'll get back to the open phones coming up here in a little bit. To make room for a special guest, his name is Benny Wills. He has a website, bennywills.com. That's WILLS. Not to be confused with Willis. Okay, it's bennywills.com. And he's also one of the creators of Joy Camp, which is a great channel on YouTube. He recently launched his own YouTube channel, which is called Benny Wills. You can find some of his poetry there, and we're going to bring him back on the line with us. I had to look up this quote. It's attributed to George Bernard Shaw. If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh. Otherwise, they'll kill you. and that's something that you're doing is you bring, as you said, you're bringing levity to the truth movement. Something that really, I don't know if anybody's done it before you. I mean, if they have, it certainly hasn't reached my desk. So welcome back, Benny Wills.
Thanks. And that quote is our channel motto. We have that posted on our channel. Oh, yeah. Although we have it attributed to Oscar Wilde. But I guess it can go. I mean, it's the message that matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're saying that the truth of who said the statement doesn't matter?
Well, I've heard that George Bernard Shaw was a eugenicist. So, I mean, it might be important.
Oh, poor eugenicists. They all get such a bad rap.
I don't know who said it. I just did an internet search and picked one of them.
I bet Snopes could tell you.
Mark,
yeah, right. Look at Snopes.
Before we continue, tell me about My Magic Mud, Mark.
Yeah, real quick about My Magic Mud. It is a black tooth powder made of charcoalized coconut shells and bentonite clay.
That's the truth.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
It is great. I've used it for years now, just about the entire length of the product's history, and I won't live without it. It's one of those things that I simply will not exist without. I've got to have it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I am convinced that my teeth are no cleaner than the moment after I finish using My Magic Mud. It's available at health food stores, Sprouts, most major health food stores, Sprouts, CVS, Natural Grocers, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, Amazon. You can get it in pretty much any place you want to get it. But if you go to mymagicmud.com, you can use coupon code FTL20 and you can get 20% off. And I say every time I do one of these reads, if you listen to only one thing I say, listen to me about My Magic Mud, because I believe in this product so strongly. It's if you've, as far as oral health goes, we all have to deal with it. mymagicmud.com, coupon code FTL20. I think you'll be very happy that you did. mymagicmud.com, coupon code FTL20.
So, Benny, you were telling us a bit of your story about how you kind of left the direction that you initially thought your life was going to go, which was a sort of a Hollywood direction, left that and went in a different direction to get away from, a place where you're an industry where you would have to kowtow to the powerful and then ultimately end up being told, what to do so you could be a star or have success. And you went off in kind of your own creative direction, and that resulted you sort of following, your dreams or your heart, if you will, and that opened up all kinds of other opportunities that otherwise never would have presented themselves. And now, here you are. You've got a couple of successful, I would say, Joy Camp, certainly a successful channel on YouTube. Benny Wills, brand new. How long ago did you launch your own personal channel?
I think it's been about 2 months, so not that long. It's something I've been playing with for a couple of years now, but I finally took the plunge because it's it was a bit intimidating to start over from zero. But it was time to separate the two, I think, and we'll see what happens. I mean, YouTube is not what it once was, so I don't really know what's in store, but I'm hoping that everything is just on track and gonna go the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah, it's just a platform. It's just one place where you can have a thing until they decide to get rid of you. So of course it's always good to have your content somewhere else, and that was actually one of the things that we were talking about off the air was the library. Which is a blockchain. It's LBRY. I think they finally got the .com. It used to be .io.
Okay. Yeah, I remember .io.
Yeah, I think they got the .com. And it's a decentralized blockchain-based video sharing service. And so they're backing up my channel, which is the Free Keen YouTube channel. So every video I upload to that Free Keen channel automatically gets piped into the library network. So if YouTube gets a stick up their butt about some content that they don't like, or the channel itself they shut down, we're safe. Everything's okay because it's on the blockchain.
At what point do you start promoting that over the YouTube channel and just break away?
That's a good question.
I'll put it out to the guest as well. Like, if you're only on YouTube.
Yeah. When do you switch? When do you switch from the major platforms to focusing on just your own thing? I don't know. That's a good question.
I know that is a good question because, well, first of all, I've been uploading my videos, especially the Joy Camp videos, to other platforms the last couple of years, just in case. And YouTube is still where the traffic is, and that's the challenge. So people need a reason to leave YouTube, and unfortunately, too many people that say, quote, the masses they have no reason to leave. They think the censorship is good, and that getting channels taken down is no big deal if they even know it's happening at all.
Yep.
So I feel like it's good to have a dog in the fight over there, and then have your backup plan, and then hopefully something takes off and people have a more incentive to hopefully people just get fed up with YouTube because it's becoming so vanilla and just so dull. Hopefully people start to see that and they leave.
Because they keep banning all the alt content that might make it a little bit exciting.
That helped to build YouTube, by the way. That's what really pisses me off about all of it, is that we all helped to build it and now they're getting rid of us, and it's I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised, but it is
the same old story.
Right, that's what they do. They crucify the prophets. They've done it throughout history, and once they get there, then all the
well, Benny's safe because he makes people laugh. It's the ones that don't make him laugh that are going to get crucified.
Well, honestly, that is a part of that's one of the reasons why I started the new YouTube channel, because I thought it's going to be a lot harder for them to censor poetry than it is to censor presentations. I feel like it's harder to sense an artistic contribution than it is someone who's just giving you their opinion or telling you, giving you a thorough presentation of facts. Like when it's artfully done, it's a little harder to, quarantine. So I'm curious to see what they do with my work, because it definitely pushes the envelope, but it's done in a really charming and melodic way that I think is going to have a hard time. I feel like the algorithm isn't going to really know what to do with it other than bury it, but it can't really censor me. I'm hoping anyway.
Ian, can we hear some of this poetry?
Yes.
It's been the hour.
Yeah,
we can hear some.
I just wasn't sure if I wanted to play it while he was on the line, because I don't know if he's probably got to go soon, I would guess. I've got 3 minutes, and we barely have 3 minutes right now.
Well, you don't want to. This isn't the kind of thing you burst in on, so play it.
Okay. Well, I was thinking about playing it the next segment, but if you're insisting, Mark,
I want to hear it.
I guess we'll play it now. Here we go. This is Benny's one of the recent uploads on his channel at Benny Wills on YouTube called Race War.
Racism is not systemic. It's not genetic or endemic. It's really not the problem, although it is problematic. Problem is, it's nourished, endorsed, engineered, and encouraged in our society that's fractured, run by maniacs and bastards, dollar signs and bankers, politics and wankers. They want us fighting each other, blaming, hating, and shaming each other. So we're always looking laterally, horizontally, instead of up the ladder accurately. Divide and conquer is the method, is the oldest trick in the book. Distracting us by blaming us. Well, they get off the hook. White cops versus black men. Just a clever misdirection. The police state versus everyone, and a war for your perception. Furthermore, let's explore American economics. Debt-based indentured servitude disguised as patriotic. The money monster taunts us and haunts us like a ghost, drip drop like an IV drip, because without any, you're toast.
Now I'm going to interrupt it there, even though that's probably bad, from an artistic standpoint, just because we're short on time. Benny, I don't know how much time you've got. If you want to stick for one more segment, that's up to you. I didn't ask you that in advance, so it's completely up to you.
Totally, yeah, I can stick around.
All right, cool. So we'll continue the rest of this poem, but just to comment briefly, this is definitely a theme that we discussed here, is the idea that government divides people and it pits groups against groups, and they constantly are fighting with one another, and they never really realize the wool has been pulled over their eyes, and that it's actually, of course, the state that's the problem. It's the government that,
In fact, if you listen to the rhetoric, they've got you down. People will say, well, we are the government. Oh, no, you're not. I mean, if there's any evidence to that, go ahead and change one thing about the government.
Good luck.
Oh, it's going to take you 20 years to do that? Maybe that's because you're not the government.
Yeah, exactly. Benny, stand by. We're going to bring you back here. Thanks for the extra time. Appreciate it. He's Benny Wills. You can go to bennywills.com. Check his YouTube channel out as well. We've got more on the way. Hour number 2 is next. And you can call in if you got a question for him. It's Free Talk Live.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
I am giving away $100 in Bitcoin Cash on September 2, 2019. And I'm not giving it away because I like giving away money, quite the contrary. It's because I need a favor. Please go to demo.freetalklive.com and fill out the survey there as thoroughly as you like. There's an optional email slot, and if you put your email in there, you will forever be signed up for whatever prize I'm giving to incentivize people that month to fill out my form. Advertisers need this info on our listeners, so fill it out as truthfully as you can, please. Demo.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,498, silver at $17.05, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,180. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a rather shocking study published this month by the Proceedings of the National Academy of the Sciences names police officers as the sixth leading cause of death among young men. Activist Post reports that police killings were only preceded in frequency by accidental death, a category that includes drug overdoses and car accidents, at 76.6 deaths per 100,000, followed by suicide, other homicides, heart disease, and cancer. The killings by police include shooting, choking, beating, and various other ways that police have taken the lives of Americans. Even more damning than finding out that police are a leading cause of death for young men is the fact that the lead researcher of the study and an assistant professor at the School of Criminal Justice at Rutgers University, Frank Edwards, says the numbers may be an undercount. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. The Amazon rainforest have been on fire for several weeks, and Brazil's right-wing President Bolsonaro suggested Wednesday, without evidence, that the fires were started by non-governmental organizations. The Mind Unleashed quotes Bolsonaro as saying, quote, "Maybe, I am not affirming it, these NGO people are carrying out some criminal actions to draw attention against me, against the government of Brazil," end quote. Adding that, quote, "the fires were lit in strategic places. All the indications suggest they went there to film and start fires. That's what I feel," end quote. Greenpeace Brazil shot back, with its public policy coordinator, Marcio Astrini, calling the president's statement sick and pitiful. In a video that's gone viral, a Brazilian woman expressed anguish as she pointed to the destruction the fires have brought, which she blamed on deforestation for cattle ranching, a practice that Bolsonaro has actively encouraged. The video was shared by the U.S.-based Sunrise Movement, which said in a tweet, quote, "We cannot tolerate political agendas of deforestation. We will not watch our future burn away," end quote. With his company stock in freefall, Overstock.com CEO Patrick Byrne resigned as CEO Thursday, effective immediately, after he stunned investors by disclosing his entanglements with the deep state. The Mind Unleashed reports that the 56-year-old Byrne, who founded the company in 1999 and took it public 3 years later, will be succeeded by director Jonathan Johnson, who was with the company for 17 years and has recently served as president of Overstock's blockchain business. Byrne's resignation comes after conspiratorial comments from August 12th, where he confessed his role in the deep state. Byrne released an initial statement last week where he discussed his involvement in the federal government's investigation into the 2016 election interference, though he wasn't super specific. He said he assisted in investigations related to the Clintons and Russia. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This is the Onion Week in Review. A month after the death of leader Kim Jong-il, North Korea's 24.5 million citizens have returned to their regular daily routines this week, holding a festive synchronized disco jump rope gala in Pyongyang's main public square. Life in the hermetic communist nation is reportedly beginning to normalize following the protracted mourning period, with citizens once again donning their brightly colored uniforms and performing intricate gymnastics routines in perfect unison.
It is an inspiring sight to see so many loyal citizens find the strength to unfurl their long silken streamers and do dozens of tandem backflips set to dance music.
Observers reported that new North Korean leader Kim Jong-un nodded once in approval of the disco jump rope gala, signaling an official transfer of power.
A recent study from the Centers for Disease Control finds that over 100 million children are being exposed to harmful levels of stupidity in their own homes. Hear the debate about secondhand ignorance on the next In the Know.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. We are launching into the second hour of the program. As always, we'll take your calls and thoughts about whatever is on your mind. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Ian,
Richie Rich,
and Mark.
And we've got special guest Benny Wills is with us and has been with us for most of an hour, and definitely appreciate the time. We talked about some of his history and how he, kind of always felt in the same way. Like I feel similarly. Like I never was enjoyed being told what to do as a kid. I didn't know that there was a name for that. They call it oppositional defiance disorder.
They do now.
Now. And, ended up parlaying.
Thank God we can diagnose you with something.
Ended up, becoming a poet, or, probably have always been a poet, for at least for a long time. For you, Benny Wills, it's what you're doing now, at least. You started out in Hollywood and kind of turned away from that, just kind of trying to do a brief recap here for those just tuning in. You've been a guest speaker at various different events. In fact, coming up, I just noticed you're one of the speakers at Anarchadelphia, which will be coming up in a couple weeks.
Yep, I'll be there.
Now, normally you're kind of like a West Coast guy. Do you get out east very often?
Not often. No, I was actually the MC for the Red Pill Expo a couple months ago, and that was in Connecticut. But that was the first time I've been to the East Coast for. Let me think. Yeah, that's the first time I've been there for any event at all. So this will be my second one coming up, and I actually love the East Coast. I used to live in Maryland, so it's some family members are going to come out for this one, which is pretty exciting for me.
Yeah, very cool.
Someone's got to get them a slot at Liberty Forum.
Yeah, that'd be great to have you up here in New Hampshire at some point. There's a couple great events that happen here. Liberty Forum is kind of like the convention-y thing that the Free State Project puts on. But there's also Fork Fest, which is a decentralized Liberty Camping Festival in the summertime, and then there's the Porcupine Freedom Festival, which is also during the summer. But coming up, Anarchadelphia is, I believe, the weekend of the 13th through the 15th of September, and it's going to be a first ever event put on by the guys from the State of Anarchy, who are super cool guys. Carmen and Sonny, we hung out with them actually while we were at Anarcho Vegas, and they're great. They had us on their show a couple times from Anarchapulco. There's so many Anarcha events now. Anarchapulco, Anarcho Vegas, Anarchadelphia.
Well, I'd say that it's as long as it keeps working and people keep coming to the events, it's fine.
So what will you be doing there? Are you just speaking, doing poetry? What's your plan?
I'll probably perform some pieces and, may add some banter in between. That seems to be my usual. When they ask me to speak, that's usually what I do. I'll just kind of make, as I call it, what I do, I call stand-up poetry. So it's, it's double entendre, of course, but it's about, poetry but it's also me just going up there and kind of making, boosting the morale, bringing the energy up, and keeping people feeling good. That's usually my intention. So I'll add some banter in there and just be playful, and I feel really comfortable on stage. So yeah, I've spent most of my life on stage, so I feel very comfortable up there, and I know that people will really appreciate it.
It's the rare person in modern society that can make money off of poetry, and you appear to be able to do that. How is it that you come up with this stuff? I mean, do you sit down and say, "We're writing a poem. We're writing a poem today"? Do you do this every day? Do you twice a day?
You're asking what the creative process is?
Yeah.
Sure, I can give you my creative process. The discipline I gave myself when I committed to this was just 1 month. So I make sure that I set aside, because if I told myself I'm going to do this every single day, I would fail and I would probably not do it. So I set myself a really loose goal once I really decided to step into it, and that was about 3 years ago, that I would do it once a month at the very least. And that approach has really worked out for me. So I can, go about my hustle bustle life and do whatever, and then I'll make sure to make some time at some point every month to write something. And, in real time, it doesn't feel like very much, but after a year, you have 12 pieces, and it's, that format works really well for me. And as far as inspiration goes, I don't know. It's just whatever I think of. Like I'll start writing something sometimes, and then it'll completely take a left turn and become something totally different than what I set out to do. And that's kind of why I love it. It's just whatever seemingly wants to come out in that moment, and I'll write it down, and then I'll fall in love with what I'm writing and just have a lot of fun with it. And it's usually so much different than whatever I set out to make, and that's exciting.
We got a little bit more here. We'll play the remainder. We got through about half of it earlier from Race War, the truth about racism. This is one of the newer videos on the Benny Wills YouTube channel. Let's just finish this out here. Here we go.
Maximize the profit, minimize opportunity, advertise the hell out of it, polarize common unity. Racism is real, without a doubt, not pretending like it ain't. It's a scary thing that's taught to us and teaches us to hate. The media embraces it, regurgitates and celebrates it, and politicians use it, accuse it, and abuse it. Over and over and time again, same shit on a different day. Battered, broken, and paranoid, while our freedoms slip away. But hey, I'll love you no matter what, regardless of your race. I'll double down, I'll say it again and reiterate just in case. I love you. I love you. I love you. Doesn't matter the color of your skin. I love you. I love you. I love you. What matters is what is within. Don't hate. Be great. And invert the golden rule. Don't do to others black, white, brown, green, purple, or polka dot as you would prefer them not do to you.
All right. So that was, again, Race War. Not the funniest of the videos on the Benny Wills repertoire, but definitely poignant and uplifting. Thank you for that, Benny.
Yeah, and I think it's always important, I mean, for me at this stage anyway, that people know, because I have an aversion to people calling themselves poets. And I have a real issue, actually, with a lot of poetry that exists now. That the modern idea of poetry, I think, has absolutely been bastardized. And it's more stream of consciousness, a lot of times victim promoting, sort of verbal or thought diarrhea. And I'm trying to go back to a real structured approach to poetry and well thought out. So it's not just someone who can, I go to open mic nights sometimes, and people will just scribble thoughts on their iPhones, go up in front of a microphone and read it off. People will clap for it. And I think that is an abuse of the platform, And I think that we have to get back to real honoring what poetry is. And so when I say I'm a poet, I'm a little shy about it because I don't want people to think I'm just some guy going up on stage and giving you some, coffee house poetry. Like I'm doing this with real intention, and it rarely has anything to do with me, and someone at Anarchapulco once described it as Dr. Seuss meets George Carlin, and I thought that was, first of all, that was an honor to be spoken of like that, but I think that's a real accurate description. It's like hard-hitting comedy, but also with a real melodic and lyrical undertone or overtone, actually, and it's really fun for me to do, and people really seem to like it. So don't get turned off just because it's poetry, because people do have an aversion to that word, and I want to invite people in and say that it's not what you think.
It probably shows my ignorance of modern poetry and these coffee house nights that you're talking about, because this is what I imagine poetry at coffee house night being when it's done well, right? Like it has that sort of feel to it that I've heard of on TV. I've never ever been to.
I'm with Mark on that.
What's that?
I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
the feeling and the sound of it.
I think you go to these and find out what they're actually like, which is probably pretty awful. And whereas I've never been to one, and I hope they're all as good as what I've heard.
Yeah, well, his delivery's fantastic. The writing is excellent, and you've clearly put a lot of time into this. Benny, anything else that you want to say here? Because you've been on with us an hour, and I really appreciate it.
Well, I really appreciate you guys having me on. If anybody, if you're listening and you want to check me out, please go to BennyWills.com, YouTube.com/BennyWills. I do need subscribers. I mean, it is hard to build a following, especially now on YouTube. So if you want to check me out, there's the place to do it. Or go to go to YouTube.com/JoyCamp for my other channel. It's been around for about 6 years, and check out what we've been doing all this time, because it's good stuff, and I think it's pretty timely and timeless.
I'm a subscriber. Really appreciate your time. Benny Wills, thanks for coming on Free Talk Live again.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a great night. We got more on the way here. Open phones, as always, coming up 8:55, 450, free like freedom.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
You might be living in a free country, but are you living a free life? Are you able to do whatever you really want to do? Being stuck in a job or difficult business, or being locked into a relationship with a woman you might like, but you're not free to do what you want. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create location-independent income and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
I am giving away $100 in Bitcoin Cash on September 2, 2019. And I'm not giving it away because I like giving away money. Quite the contrary. It's because I need a favor. Please go to demo.freetalklive.com and fill out the survey there as thoroughly as you like. There's an optional email slot, and if you put your email in there, you will forever be signed up for whatever prize I'm giving to incentivize people that month to fill out my form. Advertisers need this info on our listeners, so fill it out as truthfully as you can, please. Demo.freetalklive.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want. All you have to do is dial toll-free. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They're over at discord.lrn.fm. And that's where you can join us if you want to sound almost like you're sitting in the studio. With you tonight, it's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Mark.
At the very beginning of the show, we did, because our guest was a little late due to some technical difficulties, we started out by talking about this American Headdress ban at a music festival, purportedly because, well, they didn't want to offend somebody, and so many people are concerned about this cultural appropriation nonsense, which basically ruins all children's fun of like dressing up for Halloween, because now you can't dress up as anybody else who's not your demographic or skin color or religion or whatever it is that, you know, where you were born. There's all kinds of people being offended by ridiculous stuff. We can talk more about that. Plus, also on the way here tonight, Richie Rich, you're going to tell us about the police photoshopping mugshots.
It's insane.
We'll get to that, and we'll find out why or what's going on. But first, we go to your phone calls and thoughts. Travis is in Michigan. He's been waiting patiently. Travis, go ahead. You're on Free Talk Live.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Mark. Hi, Rich. So I was accused of rape, and I need some advice on what to do.
I believe her.
All right.
You do?
No
joke. It was a joke. Go ahead.
Believe all women. Hashtag.
Yeah, well,
go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Mark.
Well, on one hand, it's a freedom of speech and freedom of expression issue, and on the other hand, it's defamation of character.
Okay.
And,
yeah, I agree with that.
Let's hear more. Give us the circumstances. You know, what was the allegations? What was happening here?
Well, we had a wonderful relationship of 4 years. I mean, I had a social anxiety disorder because my stepdad had a stroke, and he couldn't move the left side of his body. He took care of me my whole life, and so when I originally moved to New Hampshire in 2013, I was quite depressed and not really willing to do much activism. So ever since 2010, I wanted to move to the Free State Project, and I've been an objectivist and a follower of Ayn Rand for about 9 years. And I know a lot of people disagree with that, but that's a different discussion. And it was my idea to move to the Free State Project, and then we moved there, and then in 2015, we broke up at the end of 2013, and then in 2015, November or December, I made a Facebook and I made a YouTube channel. And then out of nowhere, I got a message from my friend, one of my best friends from my high school, and said, "You raped so-and-so." I won't say her name. But a lot of friends messaged me that, and a lot of random people, because in 2015, after I made my YouTube channel, she told thousands of her friends my name. And ever since then, I've got harassing messages. I've gotten
She accused you of this after the relationship had ended.
Yes, several years after.
But was she saying it happened during your relationship?
Yeah, she said it happened during our relationship, but I mean, we broke up in the end of 2013, and then we never got. I mean, I wouldn't get back together with her, but we broke up in 2013, and then she accused me that in 2015, just after I made a YouTube channel, and she said I raped her. She said I beat her up. She said I stole her money, all false. And she said that I thought I was Hitler, which is completely false. The Holocaust was undoubtedly horrible, and
you think she did this to decrease your popularity on your new YouTube channel? It was a vindictive act on her part.
Well, what ended up happening was I totally deleted the YouTube channel because I was getting so many threatening messages. And then I believe she went on some radio show and talked about me, but she didn't use my name. And I just want to know why. I mean, I'm thinking about taking her to court and suing her for as much money as I possibly can. And she should probably check her messages and talk to me because
well, I wouldn't be messaging her.
Yeah, I would say this to that. Look, it's definitely harmful when somebody says something and there's no real proof. When it's her word versus his word, nobody on the outside really knows what the truth is because it happened years ago and it was behind closed doors or whatever. There's no doubt that false accusations can do damage to somebody's reputation. Now, whether or not you would end up having a case to bring against somebody would be questionable. Now, look, I'm not an attorney, and I'm sure there's some attorney that would tell you, yeah, buddy, I'll help you. Just give me $7,000 or whatever, and that's the down payment, and then you end up paying more, and then maybe it won't work out when all is said and done. But ultimately, you were, to some extent, if you had a YouTube channel, it could be argued from the other side that you were a public person.
Yeah, there's no look. I can't just go ahead and accuse Dan Rather of rape. Okay, whether he's a public figure or not, that's a specious argument to my mind. However, what I would say is it is like, I would try to let this dog lie personally,
rather than stirring it up once again.
I would agree with you that that speech is an action, and actions that are harmful, people should be held to account for.
But
that
they're
stuff.
generally not held to account when the person involved is a public persona. The public person has a much higher bar to prove that damage was done to them. If you're a politician or a video star or whatever,
in the same way, she can't go to the cops and say you raped her because there's no evidence.
She can go.
Well,
whether or not
could.
that will end up,
it won't do anything. The same problem you're going to have is that you're going to have to prove that something that didn't happen, and that's also going to be difficult. And
you'll have to prove somehow damaged you, and that your status as a public person at the time.
That seems pretty easy to prove.
I don't know if he covered it.
Well, he shut his own channel down.
I don't know if he covered it as a public person, but Walter Block, I believe, recently addressed.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I only made like 5 videos. Okay. I didn't friend request her. I didn't talk to her at all. The way I figured out about the accusation was from a friend of mine who a few weeks ago actually called me a rapist.
So what did Walter Block have to do with this? I'm sorry.
Oh, he recently covered an article. Someone addressed the question of slander and libel in like a libertarian society. They said it basically doesn't exist because you can't prevent people from speaking. You can just counter their speech with facts
your
of
speech. Right. That's always what I've done when it comes to people saying nasty things.
I disagree with that notion. I think that that speaking is an action. Look, there's muscles involved. Watch my jaw move.
So you're saying people shouldn't be able to say what they want?
Well, yeah, you should absolutely be able to say what you want. You should be able to swing your arm around with freedom. When it connects with my nose, on the other hand, there are consequences.
Right, but your feelings getting hurt isn't the same thing as connecting with your nose.
It's not about feelings getting hurt. This guy shut down his YouTube channel at a time when YouTube channels actually were generating money. So, there's consequences here.
Yeah, but
financial loss.
Look, people can say whatever they want about you, whether it's true or not.
I disagree with this notion. Lying about somebody, claiming that they're a rapist, is a damaging thing. And if you're lying, and it can be proved you're lying, then yeah, you should have to pay.
You're spinning your wheels. What are you going to do about it?
Well, that's a different story. You're talking about the practicality of it.
Yeah, I'm
not talking about practicality. I'm talking about morality. I think that he has a moral standing to say
not
it,
but he
likely does not have a practical standing to do anything.
Hey, Travis, good luck. I would agree with Mark. Let this thing sit. It's over. There's no reason to stir this up once again, and it's just going to make matters worse.
It's sad, and I'm sorry it happened to you.
Thank you for the call tonight, unless, of course, it was true. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up whatever you want. If you want to talk about libel and slander, you're certainly welcome to join us here. None of us are attorneys, so you can share your thoughts. It's Free Talk Live.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale, totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You know how annoying it is when someone keeps stopping mid-sentence as though he or she were asking you a series of questions? Avoid doing that. It sounds unnervingly tentative, and it imposes upon the listener to help you complete the thought. And if you're a job seeker, this alone could be a deal killer. An effective communicator sounds more confident. Complete the thought. Avoid making the listener impatient. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. Cutting through the clutter rather than blending into the blah, blah, blah will help you connect better no matter what the conversation. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook. Survivalspeech.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. Live Sunday edition of the show. We invite you to join us here. Our toll-free number for you is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733.
More and more people are being concerned with the online tracking of our movements and personal data via our mobile phones. Gone are the days when only the bad guys were tracked. Now everyone's being tracked every minute by their mobile phones and tablets, and don't think that putting your phone in airplane mode is going to stop it. In airplane mode, your location history is still recorded by your phone and transmitted later when you reconnect. Ian, you checked on this. You were a little skeptical, and this is so.
It's true.
Yep. If you want to know how to stop tracking on your phone and prevent your phone from being hacked, you can visit godarkbags.com/FTL. godarkbags.com/FTL. And are you tired of being treated like a wild animal, tagged and tracked for scientific studies so tech companies can make a fortune selling your location history? If you value your privacy and want to be absolutely certain your mobile phone cannot be hacked or its location tracked, you should get one of the Faraday bags by Go Dark Bags at godarkbags.com/FTL. Got mine in my car for if I ever decide I just, don't want my location tracked at that moment. godarkbags.com/FTL.
All right, so we're going to continue with more of your calls and thoughts. You can bring up anything that you want. Let's go to Mike. He's in Ohio, listening online at lrn.fm. Hello, Mike.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Man, I really enjoyed the show. You guys got some great content.
Thanks.
A while back, many shows ago, you guys were discussing AR-15s and AR-15s in 9mm opposed to 5.56. And the penetration and the safety on which one maybe to use in the home so you don't penetrate through your home. And I think you guys had it backwards.
Okay.
I've been a federal firearms license dealer for 28 years, so I think I can speak with some sort of expertise on this.
I will secede the stand immediately.
I don't even remember the conversation.
I think I did this one. I'll give up the podium every time when it comes to these things. I have, as a talk show host, I am that jack of all trades and master of none. So I know a little bit about lots of things, but not a lot about any one thing. So please go ahead.
Well, I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. I just wanted to kind of clear up a few things.
Please do.
If you were using a 9mm in your home, out of a handgun, obviously the velocities are lower. In a rifle, they're substantially higher. And 9mm bullets are anywhere between 115 grain to 147. And if you do fire one in your home, it will definitely go through two sides of drywall and quite easily go through another room. With the 223 or the 5.56, it's traveling at a extreme velocity. You're looking at around 3,000 feet per second, and the bullet is so light. It's only a 55 grain bullet in most cases. And soon as that hits anything, it quickly loses velocity, fragmentates, and it just slows down and stops. So it was backwards, and I'm not saying, like I said, anybody was wrong. I was just thinking, man, this would be something to bring up so that people that are listening might not make that mistake, because, obviously you don't want that going through your walls and stuff like that. But it would be backwards. I would suggest that if somebody decided that they wanted to use that rifle in a home defense situation, that the 5.56 is really, really good for that.
Okay.
It will instantly slow down. Another topic was, and I've heard a lot of people say it, maybe not you guys, but people are on the news, and bulletproof vest. There's no such thing as a bulletproof vest.
Sure.
There's bullet resistant vests, and unfortunately, which I wish all cops had better vests, but I deal with a lot of police, and the vests that they wear.
Vests.
I'm sorry?
Said I wish citizens had better vests.
Well, actually, citizens can get very, very high-tech, extremely well-made vests. Dragon skin is one of them.
Yeah.
And if you've got the money, if you want to spend thousands of dollars, you can get very good equipment. But unfortunately, most of the first responders and the police are out there, they're wearing vests that will stop handgun cartridges. Any rifle blows a hole right through them.
Right.
And I've heard people say bulletproof vest, and it just kind of, I guess it's a thing that a gun person's like, oh God, I wish they quit saying that. And then
can I interject real quick, because I have a quick question. You said that
yes, sir.
You said that in home defense, the rifle cartridge is better because it dissipates and breaks upon impact. But you're saying that in a bullet resistant vest, it is backwards. It is not true that the rifle cartridge will pierce more readily than the handgun round. I'm just getting clarification.
It will it will pierce one side of the vest. Then what it does is instantly fragmentates inside the body, creating a horrible wound channel and a temporary cavity. I mean, that's what they designed. I mean, they adopted the 5.56 because it's really, really good at killing people.
Mm-hmm.
So they designed it for that, and they made it for that. Yes, it will penetrate one side of a vest, more or less the soft body armor that the police officers do wear. Unfortunately, that's a fact. But when it hits drywall, instantly it starts to slow down, fragmentate, and it's less likely to do any kind of over-penetration through another room, into a child's room, or out the side of your home, into somebody's, into someone else's home. Now, granted, there are many, many, many cartridges and calibers that the AR-15 can be set up to shoot. I'm talking just specifically the 5.56, the original cartridge that it was designed for, that 90% of the people out there that decide to purchase a semi-automatic sporting rifle like one of those.
What about the sound? I mean, you fire any kind of gun inside your
loud
house,
as hell.
Everybody's deaf.
Yeah.
Like, this is the one thing the TV just doesn't let you know. Bang! And then, wee, that's all you hear.
You're absolutely right. 100% right. Shooting a 9mm in a home, in a room, it's going to ring your ears. You shoot a rifle inside of a room, your ears are going to be ringing worse than a concert. You're going to get hearing damage from that, but I guess it's better than getting killed or one of your family members getting hurt. But you're absolutely right. It is a devastating, loud concussion. They do make items that go on the end of AR-15s that direct the noise forward instead of to the right, the left. So if you were, I do a lot of competition shooting, and there's guys next to me, and we transition to different targets, and I use one of these. It looks like a suppressor, but it's only about 4 inches long. It doesn't suppress the noise. It just directs the noise forward, away from people to your right and your left. So, yes, you're absolutely right. It would be extremely loud inside of a room.
Yeah, but even with a device like that inside a room, it's still going to be loud as hell. I mean, it's
still going to echo.
Absolutely.
Off the walls.
Yeah, sure is. Anything else you want to add real fast? Very informative, Mike.
No, I just and I guess, did I mention there's no such thing as a silencer?
Right, a suppressor.
There are suppressors. There are suppressors, and those are, good ones are $1,000, and you have to wait 8 months to get it. You have to go through
special permits,
lot.
fees.
This isn't something you just go buy.
Right.
And it ideally, if you had one of those on a rifle inside of a home, and you did shoot it, you would not have any hearing loss. It drops the decibels down to the point where it's hearing safe. But people just don't understand.
Mike, it's been a great call. I want to say thank you for it. There's more on the way. Thanks for the call. It's Free Talk Live.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits, at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. There's no reason why you shouldn't live to be at least 100 and have a great time getting there. And and I'm going to give you a free copy of my lecture that tells you exactly how to do it. In fact, after you've lived a long and healthy life, there should be only 2 documents in your medical chart, a birth certificate and a death certificate. I'm Dr. Wallach with a warning. If you have a 4-inch medical chart, if you take prescription drugs for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, arthritis, joint pains, and other health issues, the medical profession is failing you. They're using you for an ATM machine. My free lecture is going to reveal what pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know. There's been groundbreaking research and discoveries on how to effectively treat or eliminate over 900 different diseases naturally, and it's all in my free lecture called Deadly Recipe. So call toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. Again, that's toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. 1-855-79-YOUNG.
The odds are slim.
Free Talk Live.
For the listeners, each talk show has like a, you're in the Joe Blow Army, or, the Ditto Heads. Do the lefties have it too?
I couldn't tell you.
Ed Heads, isn't?
Yep, Ed Heads.
Yeah, Ed Heads. So they all have them. I really want
I'd like
hear
to
from
rename
you.
our listeners Mindless Free Talk Live Zombies. What do you think?
Free Talk Live automatons.
Call in if you're a mindless Free Talk Live zombie.
What does it mean to you to be left? What does it mean to you
Progressive.
to be right? What does it mean to you to be conservative? What does it mean to you to be liberal? I think they're very vague concepts that pit people against one another. Many people who otherwise, in the absence of being able to plaster themselves with that label, might find out they've got an awful lot in common.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern. Live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Let's see what. I'm going to go back in here. It's Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free and bring up whatever you want. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They're over at discord.lrn.fm. You jump into one of those, you'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And with you tonight, it's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Mark.
So we're going to get back into your calls and thoughts, whether you want to talk about ridiculous bans on Indian headdresses at music festivals, which is what we started the show with. Coming up, we'll talk about the police photoshopping mugshots. And Richie says it's an outrageous story. We'll find out about that. And, of course, take your calls. Let's go to the phones. To the fun. It's Dana. She's on the line listening to WTKG in Grand Rapids. Go ahead, Dana.
Hi, guys. Hey, I'd like to comment on not the last caller, the one before that called in and said a girlfriend that he dumped accused him of rape and he had to shut down his YouTube channel. I have two comments. One is directed towards him. Do not engage with that woman or any of her friends or family unless it's done through an attorney. The second one is to all women who have ever done this or are even thinking of doing this as a means of revenge. Here it is. You probably have brothers, and you may have a husband or a son someday. And karma is a bitch. There are only 10 commandments. And out of all the things that God could tell us not to do is thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. So that's got to be pretty darn serious to not be lying on people. And for women to do this, to destroy another human being's life, I'm telling you, as a Christian, it's not good to wish evil on someone. But
what if she was actually raped?
That's different, and you know that's different. We don't even have to address that.
But how do we know the
But if
difference?
she-
As somebody who's on the outside, who wasn't in the bedroom at the time, when somebody who, let's say, is a friend comes to you and says, so-and-so raped me.
Then I would take her by her hand and tell her I will support her every single way. If that means using my vacation to take time off to go to lawyer appointments and court dates, I will do everything, because you can still go and press charges. I don't believe there's statute of limitation on rape. There may be in some states. I, like you guys, am not an attorney. But I'm telling you,
But if it's 5 years later, if it's years after the fact, there's no evidence left, right? So, like, would those charges actually...
No, there's not evidence. There's not evidence. But I mean, if I'll tell you something, and I know why women don't, because they're torn up on the stand. But I'm telling you, women, if you're raped, I haven't been. So I'm not speaking from experience, but please go immediately to a hospital. Let them collect evidence.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
So are
But
you less
there's
likely
too
to
many-
believe her story because she didn't do that ahead of time? And that it's just
Am I what?
Are you less likely to
Yes.
believe the female in this case
Yes.
because she didn't file charges
Yes.
and didn't get the
Yes,
evidence?
and I know that's not right, because some women are terrified. They're afraid. They want to believe it doesn't happen. They suppress it. And it's a whole mental thing. I get the whys. I understand the whole psychology of it. But please, for the sake of other women, and just please, if it happens, go forward, proceed forward. But if it didn't, I'm telling you, there's a special place in hell, because there are men on college campuses that have had their entire lives ruined.
Right,
You
and this is
don't
one of those
know.
things, there's a saying on the internet that video or it didn't happen, right? And what they're saying is that they want to see evidence of whatever the claim is. And it's really that way when rape is one of those crimes where the evidence goes away relatively quickly. And if you don't go through the steps and call the cops, go to the hospital, do whatever it is that one needs to do in that circumstance, then from a legal standpoint, it didn't happen. And that makes it really difficult when you start having these conversations. Yeah, if it happened and you tell your friends that it happened, then sure, it happened. But if the guy denies it, then what's it look like? It's just a he said, she said situation. And I personally, when these things come down, I never know what to do. Look, I don't know. I'm not here standing as the arbiter. Nobody's hired me to be a judge. So it's a very difficult situation. I think you're exactly right on this one.
My biggest concern with the college ones is the fact that the sexual encounter may have taken place, and then she regrets it after the fact, and then claims rape after the fact, even though there was consent at the time of the act.
Yeah, that's something that's happened to people on college campuses. I would say that just as likely, if not far more likely, is that something akin to rape occurred, and there's no evidence, and now we're just all talking about something that happened. We can take a look at the most recent Supreme Court nomination to see just how these things go. I mean, in some cases, women feel they have something to gain. The victims, I should say, feel like they have something to gain, and maybe the facts aren't exactly as they recall them. It's a tough situation. We have thousands of years of jurisprudence piled up. And one of the things about this is that you need evidence. You need to, come in a timely fashion and talk about this stuff. And if not, then what are we all supposed to do?
Well, even in the case of the caller, he said it was a female that he was in a long-term relationship with.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, it wasn't a
which makes it even more complicated.
Even more complicated.
Dana, any other thoughts? Go ahead.
Yeah, just one last thing. And this, again, I just have to restate that there's going to be some crazy woman that's going to call and think that I'm anti-female. But I'm telling you, I don't know anyone that was falsely accused of rape, thank goodness, but I can't imagine what that does. And I just want to say something as a woman to you three guys and to just guys, anyone listening. I would hate to be a man, whether it's on a college campus, especially on a college campus, but I hate to be a man in this day and time because you guys just you better watch your back.
Thank you, Dana, for your call. Appreciate the concern and the thoughts. Let's talk.
The good news is find a good woman and don't mess around on her, and then you'll find.
David in Mexico, you're on Free Talk Live. Hello, David.
Sí, Mexico.
Hold on.
Wait, New Mexico. Yeah, New Mexico, not Nuevo Mexico.
So what were you calling about?
What it says on your board there, same thing as you've been talking about.
Our
with
listeners
her and
cannot read the board, so what were you calling about? Go ahead.
False allegations of rape and that kind of thing. And this one's actually funny. This is actually entertaining, even though it's true and sickening. And I'm David Olson in New Mexico, and my public records are searchable in case anybody wants to know who I'm talking about. And in one of the more recent courtroom proceedings, meaning this is on the record, either in writing and or recorded audio in the courtroom. I've been fighting for my kids for 12 years now. They disappeared 12 years ago. I haven't seen them, and the state is not involved. My ex went in and filed a domestic relations case, divorce case with children, and that went on for 2 or 3 years, and then that case was transferred to a children's court after she married a new dude, and they wanted to attempt to terminate my parental rights and adopt my kids to that dude. And that started in 2009 and is still going on. So that's a decade. About 7 years into that case, 7 years into that second case, meaning 6, 7 years plus 2 years, all of a sudden, she makes the statement on the record that and let me say this first of all, so I make sure to get it out. Turns out that written into the law that helps to enable them to terminate the parental rights of a biological parent is if the sex that made the kids wasn't consensual. So using that part of the statute, presumably. Like I said, 6, 7, 8 years into this case, the whole time she's trying to get rid of me out of my children's lives, which she's done successfully, all of a sudden it's brought forward that none of the sex that ever happened in that 8 years or whatever it was consensual.
Wow.
Hey, did you kidnap her and force her to marry you too?
Thanks for the call tonight, David. Sorry to hear about that.
That might be Utah.
Yeah, I can imagine being very frustrated.
855-450-FREE. Like freedom. Why are the police photoshopping people's mugshots? We're going to find that out coming up in hour 3 next.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up, and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition. 859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,498, silver at $17.05, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,180. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a rather shocking study published this month by the Proceedings of the National Academy of the Sciences names police officers as the 6th leading cause of death among young men. Activist Post reports that police killings were only preceded in frequency by accidental death, a category that includes drug overdoses and car accidents, at 76.6 deaths per 100,000, followed by suicide, other homicides, heart disease, and cancer. The killings by police include shooting, choking, beating, and various other ways that police have taken the lives of Americans. Even more damning than finding out that police are a leading cause of death for young men is the fact that the lead researcher of the study and an assistant professor at the School of Criminal Justice at Rutgers University, Frank Edwards, says the numbers may be an undercount. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. The Amazon rainforest have been on fire for several weeks, and Brazil's right-wing President Bolsonaro suggested Wednesday, without evidence, that the fires were started by non-governmental organizations. The Mind Unleashed quotes Bolsonaro as saying, quote, "Maybe, I am not affirming it, these NGO people are carrying out some criminal actions to draw attention against me, against the government of Brazil," end quote. Adding that, quote, "The fires were lit in strategic places. All the indications suggest they went there to film and start fires. That's what I feel," end quote. Greenpeace Brazil shot back, with its public policy coordinator, Marcio Astrini, calling the president's statement sick and pitiful. In a video that's gone viral, a Brazilian woman expressed anguish as she pointed to the destruction the fires have brought, which she blamed on deforestation for cattle ranching, a practice that Bolsonaro has actively encouraged. The video was shared by the U.S.-based Sunrise Movement, which said in a tweet, quote, "We cannot tolerate political agendas of deforestation. We will not watch our future burn away," end quote. With his company stock in freefall, Overstock.com CEO Patrick Byrne resigned as CEO Thursday, effective immediately, after he stunned investors by disclosing his entanglements with the deep state. The Mind Unleashed reports that the 56-year-old Byrne, who founded the company in 1999 and took it public 3 years later, will be succeeded by director Jonathan Johnson, who was with the company for 17 years and has recently served as president of Overstock's blockchain business. Burns' resignation comes after conspiratorial comments from August 12th, where he confessed his role in the deep state. Burns released an initial statement last week where he discussed his involvement in the federal government's investigation into the 2016 election interference, though he wasn't super specific. He said he assisted in investigations related to the Clintons and Russia. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Last month, the FDA approved Headdress, a new class of weight loss drug that helps users avoid overeating by producing nightmarish hallucinations whenever food is around. Headdress targets the brain's cerebral cortex, stimulating the centers responsible for fear and visual processing. Test subjects reported an unprecedented decrease in appetite and showed dramatic weight loss, with only 18% reporting night terrors or subsequent cardiac arrest.
It's designed to make fatty and sugary foods even scarier. An apple just looks like it has fangs, but a milkshake will threaten you and your family by name.
Earlier incarnations of the drug proved to be too powerful and produced mental states in which test subjects no longer believed that food had ever existed. An unshakable belief that the subject had to eat all of the food on the planet in order to prevent food from rising up and destroying the human race.
No, you don't understand. I have to do this.
Or the conviction that food could be negotiated with diplomatically. With the Lab Report, I'm Aisha Patel.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. We're launching into the third hour of the program. You can dial toll free to join us here if you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Coming up, apparently some people have been exploiting a loophole on Facebook to be able to sell their guns on the Facebook marketplace. Richie's got that story. But first, he'll be telling us about the police photoshopping mugshots. It's Ian, Richie, and Mark in the studio here tonight. Of course, we'll take your calls and thoughts about whatever happens to be on your mind. Phones are always open. As always, the number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Richie, what's the story with this photoshopping? What's going on?
This comes from the New York Times, but I first found it in an Oregonian publication. But it did happen in Oregon. So when the police arrested a suspect in a series of bank holdups in Portland, Oregon, they took his mugshot and prepared to show it to the witnesses in a photo array alongside images of 5 similar-looking men. But there was a problem. The suspect had at least half a dozen facial tattoos. According to surveillance video and bank tellers, the robber had none.
Oh, wow.
This is nothing a little Photoshop could not fix.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they can take, well, in pictures, it can take the tattoos off your face.
Which is what they did.
Yeah.
The police used editing software to remove the tattoos from the picture of the suspect, Tyrone Allen, and presented his revised face to 4 tellers, at least 2 of whom identified him as the bank robber.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Prosecutors in Portland said Mr. Allen may have applied makeup before the robberies and that investigators simply mimicked this possible disguise.
Well, there you go.
That's pretty shocking.
Shady as well. Mr. Allen's lawyer
You'd think that a face tattoo is probably all in the top 5 things that would be noticeable about a suspect.
Yeah.
Now, I suppose you could apply the face tattoo later after the robbery, but I don't know from the story that we have here, I don't know how long after the robbery they're doing the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
A tattoo that was applied in the last 2 weeks is something that's really clear.
And fresh. It looks fresh.
Yeah, it looks fresh.
Yeah.
And so in that circumstance, I would not fault the police for, photoshopping it. But I think it's cause for alarm when they're altering pictures for a lineup.
Yep.
Then we all need to start paying close attention.
And the article has the pictures, and when I first looked at it, it did not look like a fresh tattoo. I mean, this dude has a bunch of face tattoos.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've taken the suspect's face and deep faked it on a reenactment of the crime here, ladies and gentlemen, so that you can access your memory and see whether or not this was the suspect that did the crime.
Yeah.
Right. Which is human memory sucks.
Right.
As sort of witness testimony.
Witnesses are notoriously unreliable.
Right. And when police can use the power of their investigation to exploit these holes in memory, I mean, you're going to create a whole new memory. It's been shown over and over again that basically if moms tell kids, hey, remember that time we went to Disneyland? They may never have gone to Disneyland, but if they say it enough times, the kid will create a memory of having gone to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
If you sort of, as I just said, these deep fakes, if you don't know what a deep fake is, it's taking somebody's face in video and transposing it on a different body. And if you took a suspect's face, stuck it on a body in a reenactment, you're quite literally creating new memories for these people.
Right. And all you have to do is get them to agree, oh, yeah, that's what happened, and then you have a conviction.
The other thing that could easily be done then, when a lot of banks and convenience stores, they have the height marker on the way out, so you can easily notice how tall someone is or roughly.
Yeah, right. The robber running out, you'll know.
In that case, like, would they say that, oh, no, we made him out to be taller because he could have been wearing elevator shoes or something. Could have been.
Yeah.
Right? He was wearing makeup and elevator shoes to make him appear 3 feet taller and have no facial tattoos. Insane. Like I said, insane.
All right, so how do they figure this out? How did this come to light? Does it get to that?
Probably, yeah. Mr. Allen's lawyer is asking the judge to throw the identification out, the Oregonian reported this month, publicizing a practice that has drawn outrage from activists who say the police unfairly changed Mr. Allen's appearance to match witness accounts.
Yeah, this is outrageous.
So they pegged him as the perpetrator, and then were doing everything like, they picked him, right? They said, this is
our guy. Now we need to make sure people agree that this is our guy.
So we can convict him and put him away and whatever. Court records and interviews with police departments across the country show this was not an isolated episode of officers airbrushing aside a discrepancy. Some of the nation's largest police departments regularly use Photoshop and other editing tools in cases where suspects have a distinguishing tattoo, scar, bruise, or other marks. So this is now common practice for them to do this.
I mean, I don't know if this is considered. I mean, it's got to be considered evidence in a case, right? Like normally, look, I'm not an attorney, but normally when the police collect a piece of evidence, there's supposed to be a chain of custody where, all right, Officer Edge, you've collected the murder weapon at the scene, you put it in a bag, you write Officer Edge and the date and, the time or whatever is required on there. That bag is then sealed. It is then handed to Officer Ritchie. Officer Ritchie will then take that to the evidence locker. He will sign in. He will, so they will write which bag number and they'll sign off on that. And then it's in the evidence locker. We're going to keep it there until we need it for trial. There's supposed to be this very
chain of custody.
Very clear chain of custody. And part of the idea of the chain of custody is that whatever the item isn't supposed to be manipulated in that time frame. And they're saying that this is now their policy to manipulate a piece of evidence that they've collected. Now, I guess you could argue it's not evidence because it's not actually part of the crime scene, but it's evidence in the fact that it's introduced as evidence.
It's presented
in the court case.
He was picked out in the lineup as the perpetrator. This guy with the no facial tattoos. But this guy has them.
And they're going on the, I'm sure the I don't know if you want to call it fact, but it's common for people to think that folks of a different race than their own look the same.
Sure.
Okay, that's not racist. It's just the way people are.
Sure.
And so, here's a black man. The person who robbed the bank was a black man. He looks big. He's, strong looking. That looks like the guy that robbed the bank. They don't really know. As Mark has pointed out, witnesses are incredibly unreliable. But in this case, they're, as you said, manufacturing the memory for these people. This wasn't even, they weren't presenting reality to these witnesses. And that's outrageous.
When you do the lineup, you do want to have like similar looking people because it's everyone that fits the description of what the tellers and witnesses and video said.
Right.
And then you get really specific. Okay, these guys fit the description. Which one was it? but he doesn't even fit the description. They manufactured the description from which he fit. Criminal justice experts say that there can be good reasons for touching up photos. For instance, adding a suspect's birthmark to pictures of other people in the array, known as fillers, can make lineups fairer by ensuring that the perpetrator does not stand out.
Well, wait a second. If you have a birthmark, you need to find people with birthmarks to. I don't.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is insane. What they're doing is insane for these lineups. Modifying the features of the suspect, however, is less common and has concerned lawyers who say investigators are encouraging positive identification and changing the appearance of a person they are asking witnesses to identify. Quote, law enforcement took these photos of a defendant who did not match the description of eyewitnesses and then altered the photo to more closely match the witness description, says Matt Dos Santos, the legal director of the American Civil Liberties Union of Oregon. If you can't do a good photo lineup, the answer is not to change the photos. The answer is a photo lineup just shouldn't be done.
Right. That's, well, I mean, it's not like a photo lineup is something, well, sorry, we don't have a case. There was no photo lineup. I mean, at any point that people can, during a trial, can you point out the person who committed this crime?
Yeah, he's usually sitting in the defendant's chair.
Right. Right. And
as fair as that is.
I don't know that that's entirely fair or anything, but, you described a person who didn't have tattoos on their face. This defendant has tattoos on his face. Can you describe the sort of problem here, and then let the person giving testimony figure it out?
Let's just stick with skin color and hair appearance. That'll narrow it down.
If you want to share your thoughts on this, police departments now just manufacturing fake stories or fake evidence here for people to identify the wrong guy in a lineup. That's what's happened, and apparently it's not the only time. 855-450-FREE is our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. You can join us here on the live Sunday edition of Free Talk Live. More on the way.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced 6-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years. With experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Live Sunday edition of the show. You can dial in toll free here. There must be people who believe that it's okay to manipulate a photograph of a suspect and then present the manipulated photograph to witnesses in a robbery situation, because that's what happened in Oregon, apparently. The New York Times reporting on this story. That's what Richie's got here to share with us. We'll continue with that discussion. Your calls and thoughts are, of course, welcome, and you can dial in toll-free at 855-450, free like freedom. If you are an individual who rejects the initiation of force and agrees to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, then you ought to head over to liberty.menu, where you can list the thing that you do or things that you do for other liberty-minded folks to find out about. Maybe you've got a business. Maybe you're a digital content creator, or perhaps you've got an event that you want to promote to other libertarians. Liberty.menu is a great tool for you, and it's free, so there's no reason not to get over there and be listed, unless, of course, you want to stay in the closet about being a freedom lover. Your listing, of course, can be rated and reviewed, and there's even a bit of a social networking aspect to the site as well. Just head over to liberty.menu. You can use code FTL. You'll get a free Talk Live listener badge on your profile. It's liberty.menu. So you're sharing with us a story from the New York Times, Richie, about a man who was accused of a robbery. Was it a bank that he robbed?
Yeah, it seems like it was a bank, yeah.
Yeah, so alleged bank robber has tattoos all over.
All he's doing is forced redistribution of wealth. I don't see the problem.
He's got tattoos all over his face, and the witnesses, however, were presented a photograph of the man, or someone who looked like the man, because it wasn't actually him, because they'd removed the tattoos from his face.
Right. All the witness testimony and the surveillance video showed a suspect with no tattoos.
It fooled a couple of the witnesses into identifying him.
That is also true.
And so that was enough to move ahead and bring charges, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The article doesn't get into the charges against him. They cover more the idea of this photoshopping of videos or of photos.
But I think
the videos are coming next.
Yes.
It's probably worth pointing out that the vast majority, like far fewer than 1% of cases that are brought end up in a jury trial.
This is true because people take a plea deal.
Oh, and because sometimes charges are just dropped. That's another reason. But far fewer than 1% of charges brought end up in a trial. So if you're saying, well, this is all be just sorted out in a trial, probably not, because it's going to take this guy a couple of years to get his trial, and he doesn't want to sit in jail that long. He's liable to take a plea just to get it. Jail's worse than prison in many cases. Mm-hmm. Liable to take the plea just to get out of there. All kinds of reasons that people take pleas. So no, he is very unlikely to get into a situation where he can say, yeah, but they, to really have the opportunity to stand in front of a jury and say, but they manipulated this particular piece of evidence. How could this possibly be true? So don't assume that somehow the criminal justice system in the United States is going to work this out.
Right.
What it's worked out is how to throw more people in prison than any other society on the planet. That's what it's worked out.
At a fairly efficient rate, too. Is it like 95% of
conviction rate? You mean?
The conviction rate on a felony at trial is about 2/3 of the time. Now, you'd think if somebody took something all the way to trial, like this guy, right? That they're likely, just my guess, they likely believe that they're innocent.
Okay. But 95%, the 90%, it might not be 95.
95, 97 or something goes to plea deal.
Goes to plea deal, right? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, some amount of them get dropped.
Yeah. I mean, but I'll tell you what. You can go down and not even look at felonies and misdemeanors, but just little stuff. Violations or low-level misdemeanors. Just sit in any court hearing on a Monday or Tuesday morning or whenever it is that your local district court does arraignments and just watch the plea deals. They just roll right through.
They just go through, yeah.
Almost nobody says not guilty. Yep. Almost no one.
I would, if it weren't for my persistence to take something to trial, I would likely have a felony weapons charge on the books.
Wow.
Because I got picked up and I had brass knuckles in my possession and they found it.
In New Hampshire?
No, in Hawaii. They found it, charged me with felony possession,
Wow.
but I got thrown out as an illegal unconstitutional search during pretrials.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Right. But it's partially because I fought it.
Where was the search? I mean, did they search your person or your car, or what did they search?
It was in a satchel. I had it in a pocket in a satchel.
On you?
On me.
And you were in your car or walking around the streets?
I was in my car.
I'd say I have a couple of things to say about that. First, I think brass knuckles are probably illegal in most places.
They are, as I understand it, yeah.
But many of them have, this exemption for if you're hunting. So
I wasn't hunting. I just carried.
Don't tell them that.
You big fat liar! You were hunting. Okay.
Don't tell them.
And another thing is if you want brass knuckles, probably the thing to look up a Tota sack.
Right. I was about to bring that up. Okay.
TOTE.
No. TOTA. SAK.
Okay. Yeah. Tote sack. Look it up. It is basically a hard plastic bag holder, so you can slide the handles of.
Sorry, Ian pulled it up, and now I'm looking at it.
Grocery bags in it, and it is completely legal. And will do all the work that a pair of brass knuckles will do.
You say it's plastic. It's made of like heavy-duty automotive, like intense hard plastic that is not going to bend.
It doesn't. It has a slight flex to it, but not much.
The purpose of the device is to hold up as many grocery bags as you possibly can with one hand. That way, the bags aren't constantly cutting into your palm or your fingers or whatever.
Some people use them to carry 2 full 5-gallon buckets. So, like in a farm operation or something.
I still use mine. They were an advertiser of ours a long time ago, and I've still got mine right by the window here. Every time I come back from groceries, it's.
I'm going to say man up and just line that stuff along your forearm, man. Because that's what I do.
It bites into your forearm.
It does.
Yes, with the Tota sack, you're able to carry
I can pull in
more.
an entire 12 bags, no problem. Like the only problem is actually fitting through the door at that point. Like you have to turn to the side and walk in.
But if for whatever reason you want a pair of brass knuckles, they're likely illegal where you are.
Right.
But a Tota sack isn't, and it would do the job. Plus, it has the added feature of you can carry garbage. You can carry a bunch of grocery bags with it.
Yeah, you connect with somebody with that thing in your fist, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
I still like my brass knuckles.
All right.
I don't have them anymore.
I don't know if they're legal in New Hampshire. I don't think they are.
They are not illegal in New Hampshire.
Yeah. They are not illegal or not legal?
They are illegal in New Hampshire. They are not legal in New Hampshire unless you're hunting.
Right.
If you're hunting and you
Can I be hunting wabbits?
Punch a deer in the mouth, I guess. I don't know what you could possibly do with these things. I am not an attorney.
It's all right, officer. I'm hunting police.
Right. Well, that's a really bad idea.
I made one attempt to get it out of evidence after the charges were dropped, and it was denied. And so they still have them.
Boo.
I know. The state of Hawaii.
What else from the story that do you want to share?
It gets even more interesting. Margaret Bull-Covera, a professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice who studies witness identification and evidence, said though it could be nearly impossible to find 5 filler photos that look similar to a suspect with an obvious scar or face tattoo, Changing a suspect's mugshot was unacceptable. And she said she worried that police could alter photos in other ways, like making a suspect look thinner if they believed that the person had gained weight after committing a crime. That is not okay, said Professor Covera. You can't alter the face of a suspect.
Well, they can.
Well, they
and
did,
apparently
yeah.
they are. And that's not okay. And I don't know if there's... How do you deal with this? Do you sue one department, then hope that the other departments catch wind that they could get sued for this? I mean, this is a hard thing to enforce on these cops.
Yeah, and it goes on. Some departments do it, some departments don't.
And how would you know? You'd have to start comparing photos. More coming up here.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. GoDark bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit GoDarkbags.com/FTL. That's GoDarkbags.com/FTL.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Dial toll-free to join us here. Our live Sunday edition continues. We'll take your calls about anything you want to discuss. If you want to join us, our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we've got the Discord call-in line rooms. They're open and available to you at discord.lrn.fm. With you tonight, it's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Mark.
I want to say thanks to Sid, who is a Free Talk Live Silver amplifier. That means Sid is contributing $5 a month to the AMP program over at amp.freetalklive.com. You go there. It stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And that is a way for you to help us get Free Talk Live on more radio stations, into more ears on the internet, exposing new people to the ideas of freedom and liberty and peace and cryptocurrency and the stuff that we talk about 7 nights a week here on Free Talk Live. Sid is backing us up for $5 a month. That's all that we ask for. You can do PayPal, you can do credit card, you can do Bitcoin, BTC, whichever one of those ways you want to sign up. And you'll get some cool perks and bonuses like the special chat rooms that we have on our Discord server. There's the AMP-only Facebook group. I actually had somebody ask me on the Discord server this weekend, if they are a Twitch subscriber, could they have access to the AMP-only Facebook group? And I said, I'm sorry, but no, we can't do that, and there's a few different reasons for it. One, Twitch, which is one of our video streaming platforms, and we have some folks who subscribe there. We don't talk a lot about that, but you can subscribe to us to the LRN.FM channel on Twitch.
At twitch.freetalklive.com.
Right. Now, it costs like $5 a month there, but they only send about half of that to LRN, and Twitch keeps the other half. So, number one, the difference in revenue is significant because, like, out of a $5 contribution from, say, PayPal or a credit card, we're going to see about $4.50 of it. With the Twitch thing, $2.50. So it's a fairly large difference. Plus, when you subscribe on Twitch, you're technically subscribing to the LRN.FM channel. You're supporting LRN, which is the Liberty Radio Network, whereas the AMP program is specifically to advertise, market, and support Free Talk Live. And so, it doesn't really seem like it would be fair to allow somebody to subscribe on Twitch and give them access to something that has been an exclusive perk for the Free Talk Live amplifiers. So if you want to support Free Talk Live, please join the AMP program at amp.freetalklive.com. If you want to support LRN, you can join the Twitch thing, or you can subscribe on Patreon. But the Twitch and Patreon subscribers, they get access to special perks that the amplifiers get access to, plus the amplifiers get more, if that makes any sense. So
I would say if you can afford it, support both.
Do both. Absolutely. Our Patreon, I think we only ask $2 a month for the LRN.FM satellite Patreon, and that's over at patreon.lrn.fm. And then, of course, the Twitch thing is $5, but we only see about half of it.
And they I would say they serve different audiences.
They do. Yeah. So definitely appreciate all the support. And I hear that the Facebook group is still active. So I think that, that's a cool perk.
Oh, that's they're talking today.
Great.
All kinds of stuff going on.
I get notifications for that group daily.
Right on.
They're not always, the most prescient.
It was It was the one group that was the one group that kept me on Facebook a little while longer, and then I just said, screw it, I'm quitting Facebook, and it's been great.
And if you want to chat with Ian, he's over at discord.freetalklive.com.
I'm in that Discord all day, every single day.
Or just send your questions to Mark, and he'll ask Ian and post Ian's answer.
I really hate that, but it's absolutely true.
All right. So do you feel like there's more that we need to share from this
I do. I
Photoshop manipulation of mugshots?
Yeah, because, again, it gets this next part gets into the departments that do it and don't.
Oh, okay. Or at least the ones that are admitting it and aren't admitting it.
Sure. Yeah. So among the police departments that do sometimes touch up suspects' photos is the country's largest, the New York Police Department, often as a last resort.
Last resort because they don't have any real evidence, right? Okay, well, we got to do something, get a conviction.
All efforts are made to alter the filler photos, not the subject's photos, says Sergeant Mary Frances O'Donnell, a spokeswoman for the department. I think that's a key difference as we move forward with the article, is they have their primary suspect, and if the primary suspect has facial tattoos, they will put facial tattoos on the other pictures, right? To see if they
couldn't find anyone else with a facial tattoo, so
right. So, but you have to give people a choice to say, to positively identify the guy. But in the Oregon case, they removed it because to make the suspect appear like the video, right? Like the witness eyewitness account. So I thought that was an important difference.
I think it's wrong in both counts.
Well, I would agree that evidence is either evidence or it's not, right? Like, we shouldn't be talking to witnesses about fake stuff. But I guess what I think is probably more important is that everybody understand that witness testimony is flawed inherently.
You talk to 3 different witnesses, you get 3 different stories, right?
That people just don't remember what they saw because things were happening so quickly. The things that they remember, they probably remember very well, but it isn't always the face of the person that we're talking about. And when as you mentioned, when there's ethnic differences, it gets even more complicated. I don't know how to address that. The jury needs to understand and pay attention. When somebody says, I was at home on my phone playing Farmville, and they can prove that they were playing Farmville or something, this is, the cops can find out where your phone is, There's all kinds of things that they just don't bother doing the search to find out whether they're wrong. They're very good about finding out evidence to support their theory, but very bad at finding evidence that dismisses it.
Right. So let me read this next line, Ian, because it kind of addresses your point, and I somewhat agree with you, but not 100%. When confronted with a suspect whose scars or tattoos would stand out from the filler images, the department's photo unit adds the same features to the 5 filler photos to ensure the photo arrays are fair and impartial, she said, adding that investigators document all changes. So it's not like they add the facial tattoos to the filler photos and then they pick that guy and then go arrest that guy. They released the subject because he was not.
He wasn't identified.
Right.
I see.
So if they put that guy up, his filler photo, and he was identified as having facial tattoos, and they put one guy with facial tattoos and 4 other people with no facial tattoos. Well, it's easy to go the guy with facial tattoos,
right?
So,
okay.
So they put the tattoos on the other people, so it's not as.
But that
clear.
doesn't indict them.
It doesn't indict them. Right.
Okay.
Officials.
Well, I see that.
Okay, that's why I wanted to point that out. Officials at other police departments, including the Los Angeles, Chicago, and Philadelphia, said that they keep their hands away from Photoshop. Adding or removing tattoos is not something we do, says Detective Donnie Moses.
No, we hire people to do it.
A spokesman for the Baltimore Police Department.
You got to be careful with these cops. I mean, these people and politicians, cops and bureaucrats, what they say may be true, but they may not be telling the whole truth.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We don't tamper with them at all, he said of photos for arrays. We would get killed in the courts as well as the media. That's something we don't mess with. And
Good, and they would deserve it.
Like this Oregon Police Department who finally got caught. In some cases.
But what's the punishment? Even though they got caught and embarrassed, is the officer fired?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah. In some cases, doing nothing about distinguishing marks may hurt suspects the most. A state appeals court in New Jersey last year tossed out an identification in which a witness had selected a man as the perpetrator because he was the only person with face tattoos in the photo. So basically what I just said.
Yeah.
In a study published in 2016, researchers in the United States and England asked witnesses to watch someone with a distinctive feature commit a crime. When researchers then produced a photo array which only one person had the distinctive features, witnesses were more likely to identify that person as the perpetrator.
Even though it wasn't necessarily the person.
Even when it was not the same person from the video.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's a strong argument then for adding the same features to the entire lineup.
To the fillers, yes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily removing it from the suspect,
right.
To make him appear like the perpetrator. In essence, the unfair lineup made people more likely to confuse the guilty perpetrator with an innocent suspect, says Melissa Koloff, a psychology lecturer at the University of Birmingham, England, and an author of the study. Experts generally agree that finding filler photos with similar identifiable markings is the ideal solution, although a 2004 survey of 220 police departments, including many of the nation's largest, found that nearly a third did not do anything about unique marks.
The toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE. Selling guns on Facebook Marketplace. It's a no-no, according to Facebook's rules. But some people have found a way around that. That's something else that you wanted to talk about with us, Richie. We'll get into that if we get the chance. And of course, we'll take your calls and thoughts, whether you want to talk about eyewitness testimony or really questionable police practices. You can join us here, 855-450-FREE, like freedom.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon you'll need a plan and place to survive. Forget bunkers. You're not a live underground gopher. You need survivalist camps, the ultimate fully functional, off-the-grid mobile survival bug-out house that's well-equipped and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Bold statement? You bet. See them now at survivalistcamps.com. That's survivalistcamps.com. Trust your family survival to survivalistcamps.com.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with Reputation Defender. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with Reputation Defender. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771. For your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with Reputation Defender. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live. You're invited here if you want to join us on the radio. Moments remain, but enough time for you. If you call now, our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Tonight, it's Ian,
Richie Rich,
and Mark.
Check out more of Richie over on his show, The Anarchist Experience.
AnarchistExperience.com.
And what will they find there this week?
Oh, what do we talk about this week? Okay, so this week was a little more personal because my buddy he was talking to some PhDs and trying to get their expert opinion on what can be changed in the political sphere. So we talked a little bit about that. He's trying to be like the best liberty activist he can in Hawaii.
Okay.
I'm like,
good luck.
Good luck. I'm like, a lot of the things he was suggesting, I'm like, there's already people doing some of that here.
Really?
Like there's
Like what?
He wanted like a meeting house for liberty-minded people to gather.
Yep.
And argue?
And argue and discuss
Yeah.
ideas. I'm like, already got that.
And
Sleep
get
with
high.
each other's girlfriends?
Yeah. Drink heavily.
Yeah, right. Poker.
Darts and whatever. And then, we were talking about
That's so done here. Like one of them closed down. The Keene Activist Center like ran through its lifespan at this point.
But that's that's how far behind he is
Yeah.
over there, because they don't have anything even close to that.
If all you've got's 5 activists, you're not going to have enough for an activist center.
Right. Well, he thinks that it's like if you build it, they will come.
Well, there is something to be said for that. However, it helps if there's actually a movement of people migrating to a place to make sure there's enough people that could come or will want to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, or like, the center, the community, just people getting together, buying up some land where we can have our own little, I'm going to say compound, because that's my word. So he was, he wants to do something big. I'm like, dude, just come here and do it. Like, just
right. There's enough people here.
Yeah. And he was talking about coming to visit in end of December.
Excellent.
So we might give him the tour around town and show him about. So
you're going to bring a guy from Hawaii to New Hampshire in the middle of December.
Well, he's from Hawaii now, but he was born and raised in Missouri. So,
okay, no big deal.
So it should be no big. He's like,
All right.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of like non-mainland already. Like I've been in Hawaii long enough where I don't even feel like mainland people are my people anymore. Whatever. He said December is good for him, so that's
All right,
when he's
fair enough. Bring him up.
But yeah, anarchistexperience.com if you want to hear that discussion.
Check him out. He's on there once a week at the Anarchist Experience. So, Richie, you brought another story in here. This one's about...
Is it about nuking hurricanes?
No, but Michael Hampton did just say, posted something to one of our host groups saying apparently Donald Trump has suggested doing just that. Dropping a nuclear weapon inside a hurricane.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you go to vote in 2020, I wanted you to ask yourself, I mean,
he's a thinker.
Did Barack Obama suggest nuking hurricanes? Like, seriously. I mean, this guy's thinking out of the box here.
That is out of the box.
Like, let's spread nuclear material all over the globe and like the spinning. What do we got these bombs for anyway if it's not to nuke some hurricanes?
What if nuking the hurricane prevented the destruction of Florida?
Right. Well,
how are we going to know what the impact of these nukes have on the hurricanes unless we do it?
That's right. You
gotta test the theory.
As long as he pronounces it correctly.
Nuclear.
Nope. Nuclear.
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 Okay.
I was a nuclear guy too at one point.
So was George Bush.
Yeah,
George W. Bush.
But I don't know where that came from.
I'm not a nuclear guy.
That mispronunciation of nuclear, but I got to say, Ian was right on that one. He certainly knew the proper pronunciation of nuclear.
Facebook Marketplace. I do not use Facebook anymore. I quit in early 2018. It was actually New Year's Eve 2018, where I decided I wasn't going to be on Facebook anymore. But one of the things that I do hear that people like about it is that this marketplace is actually a fairly busy thing. It's like a place where you can actually find stuff. It's competitive with like Craigslist or something like that. And because Facebook has such a large built-in user base, it's a fairly active and fairly useful aspect of Facebook. I never checked it out when I was a member of the site, so I don't know anything about it, but I do know that they don't allow you to sell guns and drugs.
Yeah, and I've used it to look for things. I've never purchased anything off Facebook Marketplace.
I know Aria bought a skateboard there. It's got a great deal.
Yeah,
I've seen stuff listed. I've never bought anything.
And but guns, no. Gun sellers are taking to Facebook Marketplace to broker sales, exploiting a loophole despite the sale of guns being specifically forbidden by Facebook policy. According to the Wall Street Journal, Facebook's marketplace feature was launched 4 years ago and has allowed more than 2 billion people to buy and sell secondhand items. The trick being used by sellers is to list gun cases or gun boxes at inflated prices. Yeah. That indicate to those in the know that a gun is also being sold.
Oh my God. Wow.
It doesn't seem like that great of a trick, right? Like, why wouldn't you do that?
Well, it also sounds like a great way to scam somebody too. Like, well, I told you I was going to sell you a case for $500. You got a case. That's what you paid for. Have a nice day. What are you going to do? Complain to Facebook's moderators about this? I said I was selling you a case for a Glock.
Don't you meet in person for this Facebook Marketplace?
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't think it's necessary because Facebook, allows friends and everyone in the marketplace to do Like I'm sure there's
Could
shipping
you ship
prices.
a product? Yeah.
I'm sure you could. But I don't think in the case of gun sales, you're like, oh yeah, just drop this in USPS priority mail.
Yeah, that's
overnight.
true. It's probably not that legal to ship a gun around. Yeah, don't you have to like go to a federally licensed gun dealer to ship a gun legally?
That I don't know.
I think that again, I'm not an attorney, but I think that's how you're legally supposed to ship a gun to another person, even if the sale was like off the books. I think you still have to go through a licensed firearms dealer. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, gun folks. You can dial in 855-450 free. But that's a good point, Mark. If Facebook Marketplace is mostly in person, then you'd obviously be able to inspect the merchandise before you hand it over the cash.
Yeah.
This helps users evade Facebook's banned item policy.
Smart.
Buyers and sellers then communicate via private message to discuss the details of the transaction. So
can I also sell a Ziploc baggie that has a bunch of plant material in it, but just sell the baggie itself for $100?
Sure.
Nice.
Why not? So similar to this, I shop on eBay quite a bit, and there was a dude selling Madden Bucks.
Madden Bucks, like the coach Madden?
Well, like for the video game, the
Madden.
Yeah,
the
video game Madden.
Yeah,
but
he was a coach, I think, at one point.
He was a coach and a commentator.
Right.
But the video game Madden, you have to get in-game currency to buy other things.
Really? Okay. They've got microtransactions in football games now?
Apparently, well, this was a few years ago, but yes, they did.
Oh my god!
So he was selling like Madden Bucks on eBay, but you're not allowed to sell digital things like that on eBay at the time for whatever reason. So he had it listed as a paperclip. Like $50 for a paperclip, and when you buy this paperclip,
you get Madden Bucks free.
Free Madden Bucks.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I thought, I wasn't in the market for Madden Bucks, but I did message him like, dude, love that, love the idea, love what you're doing, keep up the good work.
By the way, this technique, from what I understand, does not work when it comes to like government prohibitions on reselling alcohol, for instance.
The bottle?
They've written, or whatever, selling a paperclip and giving them a free bottle of, Mad Dog or whatever. They've written these laws to be very, very tight on certain items.
Okay. Well, apparently not guns. For instance, one seller in North Carolina this month posted a photograph of a gun case that was being listed for $950. The case itself only has a retail cost of about $30.
Right.
When the seller was interviewed, he indicated that he was actually trying to sell an AR-15,
nice.
Not just the case. He then privately shared a photograph of the rifle, laid out with more than 670 rounds of ammunition, and of course, the case.
Oh, so that's not included in the actual auction. It's just a photo of the case, and then you have to inquire. It doesn't say. It doesn't say in the auction headline like AR-15 could fit in, AR-15 compatible or whatever.
Nope, you just
no.
Well, not in this case. It's just here's the case.
Yeah,
it's a rifle case, so you know.
See, I would want to put AR-15 in the title or the keywords or something like that. That way, somebody's going to find it. Yeah, the sale.
Yeah. But I mean, they see a gun case listed for $950, and you go, "Hey, what do you got?"
I see.
Right, and then you go like, "Hey, what do you have?"
An overpriced Bushmaster.
Yeah. Naturally, these types of posting are going to raise fresh scrutiny about Facebook's ability to police its platform, especially as it helps to grow its marketplace to sell more advertisements. Facebook's marketplace remains a giant and online sales outlet, with 1 in 3 people in the U.S. visiting the site each month.
1 in 3?
Honestly, that seems low. It's right there on the
They're
main
saying
page.
1 out of 3 Americans is going to the marketplace specifically?
That's the way I'm reading it. 1 in 3 people visit in the U.S.
They're very good about push notifications on this thing.
Yeah.
You get notices of people selling stuff?
Yeah.
Like once you search for something, if you don't buy it right away, you'll get ads like, "Hey,
they'll
this has
ping
been
you.
listed in the market." Something similar to what you've been looking for is now being listed in the market.
Interesting. Well, kudos to them for setting this thing up. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily to have more ways for people to sell their stuff online, especially if there's a large audience there. So, and does it cost money? Is it or just like an included service? Does Facebook take a cut?
I've never posted an ad in the marketplace, so I couldn't answer that.
I wonder how that works.
But either way, if you have a gun case for sale, now you know where to sell it.
Because most of Craigslist listings are free, if I recall correctly. I think they changed it for cars recently, but I think that
yes, most private items are free listings.
Yeah.
They for job postings and gigs, they have started charging for that recently as well.
And of course, don't forget liberty.menu. If you care about freedom, you can list your stuff there, and I don't think there's any restrictions.
No, I don't think there is.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow night online. In the meantime, freetalklive.com.
I am giving away $100 in Bitcoin Cash on September 2, 2019. And I'm not giving it away because I like giving away money. Quite the contrary. It's because I need a favor. Please go to demo.freetalklive.com and fill out the survey there as thoroughly as you like. There's an optional email slot, and if you put your email in there, you will forever be signed up for whatever prize I'm giving to incentivize people that month to fill out my form. Advertisers need this info on our listeners, so fill it out as truthfully as you can, please. Demo.freetalklive.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,498. Silver at $17.05, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,180. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a rather shocking study published this month by the Proceedings of the National Academy of the Sciences names police officers as the 6th leading cause of death among young men. Activist Post reports that police killings were only preceded in frequency by accidental death, a category that includes drug overdoses and car accidents, at 76.6 deaths per 100,000, followed by suicide, other homicides, heart disease, and cancer. The killings by police include shooting, choking, beating, and various other ways that police have taken the lives of Americans. Even more damning than finding out that police are a leading cause of death for young men is the fact that the lead researcher of the study and an assistant professor at the School of Criminal Justice at Rutgers University, Frank Edwards, says the numbers may be an undercount. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. The Amazon rainforest have been on fire for several weeks, and Brazil's right-wing President Bolsonaro suggested Wednesday, without evidence, that the fires were started by non-governmental organizations. The Mind Unleashed quotes Bolsonaro as saying, quote, "Maybe, I am not affirming it, these NGO people are carrying out some criminal actions to draw attention against me, against the government of Brazil," end quote. Adding that, quote, "the fires were lit in strategic places. All the indications suggest they went there to film and start fires. That's what I feel," end quote. Greenpeace Brazil shot back, with its public policy coordinator, Marcio Astrini, calling the president's statement sick and pitiful. In a video that's gone viral, a Brazilian woman expressed anguish as she pointed to the destruction the fires have brought, which she blamed on deforestation for cattle ranching, a practice that Bolsonaro has actively encouraged. The video was shared by the U.S.-based Sunrise Movement, which said in a tweet, quote, "We cannot tolerate political agendas of deforestation. We will not watch our future burn away," end quote.